always takes a minute for it to go live, but you'll see it pop up in the corner like it just did. What is
Just
up,
done it.
everybody? How you guys doing? Man, today's a special episode. This one's been in the making for a long time, and I've been so excited since the first time we met. She was originally supposed to be the first BSB guest I had on the podcast. It didn't work out that way, but
No.
yeah, right. But listen. We ended up meeting at Cadwell Park this year, which what an honor. And hi to Steve. Thank you for the
Steve
coffee, by
is
the way.
he's watching. He's actually at work at the minute, so he will be watching.
Well,
I'm sure
good.
he'll say hello.
Yes. Hello, Steve. Man, what an honor it was to meet you too, and Aaron, Lily, and everybody. It was
Yeah.
it absolute the best time I've ever had, and I tell people that all the time. But anyway, welcome everybody. Thank you for joining us again on this another live podcast. And obviously, you guys already know because you see her name up in the corner right there, Lissy Whitmore. What is up?
Hello. Not a lot really. It's been very boring for you. Everything's finished now, so I'm just sort of kicking around, training, having a bit of fun. I've been working so much, but yeah, it's all good, all good.
And where do you work at?
I work in Sainsbury's for everybody in the UK, but it's like I work in a Walmart pretty much for you guys.
A wall.
I
Oh,
do
okay.
like overnight shifts. I work like in retail, grocery retail. I do like overnight stuff though. So what time is it? So normally in the UK, I'll be starting about 7 o'clock and I won't finish till 1 o'clock in the morning, usually.
Wow.
So
Been there, done that.
yeah. No, I've always worked nights. Like my first job was a night's job. This is my second proper job, and this is a night's job. So, but it leaves my day open for anything else I want to do. So it's all good.
There you
That's
go.
yeah. That's awesome. So, um. I want to get into all the American viewers out here. So my main thing too is I'm trying to get, excuse me, I'm trying to get more Americans involved in BSB. And I tell
Mm.
everybody it's my favorite race class organization in the world out of MotoGP and all. It's not because, and I say it all the time, not that I think that you guys are better than everybody else, right? That's not it at all. But you guys' structure and especially in the superbike class that has little to
Mm.
nil electronics, right? So it's old proper school, Doug Chandler, Kevin Schwantz way back in the day before they had all that. Well,
Kevin
this is
Schwantz,
this was your
yeah,
traction control, your engine brake, and all that good stuff, right?
yeah. I mean, I don't really know a lot about superbikes. I know they have a few bits of electronics, but we're very much a different style, a different sort of
Yes.
championship to anything else that I know. And it's definitely not the same as AMA from over your side of the world. But yeah, it's something else. So we make for some very interesting racing, I think.
It's proper mega racing is what it
That's
is.
probably the nicest way you could have put that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Let's leave it at that. Yeah, we make for interesting racing. Leave
hmm
it at that.
I believe the proper term would be elbows out, I think is what I'm going to call it.
Yes, precisely. Elbows out, feet out, head out, shoulders out,
Oh,
everything
God.
out. Yeah.
Just watching some of the stuff from, was it Snetterton? Yeah, Snetterton. Some of the old races from there, I'm like, you guys are insane. Like, I enjoy a
Yeah.
good bit of fairing bashing, but oh my God.
Yeah, I
Like,
mean,
in a fight
my
at the end
class
of this
was
race.
yeah, my class was a little bit ridiculous. I didn't actually. I mean, I think we'll probably get onto this a bit later, but I didn't actually compete in many rounds at British Superbikes this year. I sort of retired myself at the World Superbike wildcard round due to a lot of reasons, which, as I say, we'll probably go onto them later. But we always have like sort of made for interesting racing. We get told we used to get told off loads for just the way that we used to race. Like it wasn't, you know, not always everybody's fault, but yeah, it is what it is. You know.
Again, it's so nice about it.
Yeah, because it wasn't always me doing it. Well, it wasn't ever me
Oh
doing
yeah,
it,
no,
but
no, trust me, it's yeah, no, it. Yeah.
yeah. Next question, please.
Right, yeah. So, Lizzie, tell everybody how you actually ended up getting into two wheels at a young age. Like, who introduced you to motorcycles, and how did this whole transition into just learning to ride into track days and to the legend you are?
So really, I've always been around bikes. My dad, uncle, and my auntie, they've had bikes. It's my dad's side of the family, really. Always been around them. Dad's owned thousands of bikes over the years. There's always been a bike in the garage. For when I was growing up, my dad used to work for BSB teams back in the day before I was even born. But I'd played on like 50cc twist and goes when I was like 6 or 7. Had a crash and then was like, nah, not touching that again. But I actually fully started my racing journey when I was 12. It was Easter 2017. Around that sort of time, we went and watched. First of all, we went and watched a British mini bike race, which is a 140cc pit bike things. I think you guys call them pocket bikes or something.
Pocket bikes.
Little tiny mini bikes. Went and watched that, and I was like, "Yep, I'll have a go at that." But Dad wanted one as well, so his theory was, like everything else I've done, because I've done God knows how many team sports. His theory is all right. I'll get her a bike. She'll get sick of it after a few weeks, and I can have it. And 6 years later,
he's still waiting on you to get sick of it.
Right. Yeah.
He's still waiting on to get his bike. Yeah.
Yeah.
This chick.
He's had there's been like 2 mini bike race bikes in the garage at some point. We've both he's raced endurance race mini bikes and stuff. So he actually did end up having his go at it. I was just closely following behind him, sort of thing. Because he isn't actually that bad on a pit bike. I'll give that to him. I've never admitted that on camera. So, Dad, if you heard that, you didn't hear that.
Oh, Steve heard that. Trust me.
You are going to hear all about it tomorrow.
And he's at work right now telling all his mates. Did you guys just hear that?
Yeah, no, he's not bad. He's not bad on a pit bike. It was Easter 2017. We just dabbled around doing track days from then. I always get my dates mixed up, and it really annoys my dad.
He doesn't matter. Just say it.
Although a few years later, after I'd started getting some pace on my pit bikes, I'd changed pit bikes. I've gone from an IMR to a Bucci, which is, by the way, the most beautiful pit bike I've ever ridden. It's still sat in my garage. Tell you what, we sold that bike, and now we've got the same one back because I wanted it back so bad. Nice. So I got a bit of pace up on that. I'd done podiums, pole positions, everything, and done a lot. Adult class at 14 and all that. And then I got selected for the British Talent Cup before it was all bring your own bike sort of thing. I got selected to do that, to just go to the selection event, not actually to do it. God no, because I'm too big for that. Not as in physically tall.
No, trust me, I understand. Yeah, no, I completely understand.
Yeah, I feel like with my shoulders and everything, especially now. I went and had to go and ride a big bike because it's on big bikes sort of thing. So I went and did a Ron Haslam race school day. I did 7 laps and then threw myself down Craner's curves on a higher bike. I've got the scars on my hips to prove it. I wrote the bike off. I wrote a helmet off. I wrote my levers off.
If you're going to do it right, I guess.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That was my first time on a big bike ever, and I completely wrecked it. And every time I see Ron Haslam, I still apologise to him. And then after that, I can't really remember how this all sort of tumbleweeded into I'm going and doing my ACU and track days and stuff. But it did. In 2019, maybe towards the end of 2018, 2019, we got a KTM. RC390. They used to be a cup bike in Brits. Don't know where it was.
Cup here too.
Yeah, that RC390 cup. I got the display bike that was used to take around the shows and stuff. I got the display bike from my local dealer in Market Deepin. We bought that. I did my ACU on 3-year-old Metzler dries in the pissing down rain. Excuse my French. In literally bouncing off the walls, cats and dogs rain. Passed my ACU and then started going racing, just club meetings and stuff. At the end of that year, we actually decided to get shot at the Kawasaki. Oh, actually, hang on, go back a bit. So I did my first race meeting on the KTM and I actually didn't like it that much. And I said to my dad, you know what, can we just do Cadwell, the club meeting with North Gloucester? I just want to do Cadwell so I know I've done it, and then we'll just sell the KTM because I don't really think I'll get on with it very well. We went to Cadwell, and then we went to the next round, and then we went to the next round, and then we went to the next, and it just kept going. We ended up getting rid of the KTM at the end of that year, got a Yamaha, went to Spain with it thanks to my sponsors in 2019. And then obviously, pandemic and whatever. I think that was the order of it. God, I've completely lost all sort of track, and I've hit my head so many times I can't really remember. So we did whatever we could in 2020 with everything going on. And I think I came third in the championship that year, and I missed it by 2 points, missed second by 2 points. And then, yes, I have got it right. Oh, Dad's going to be so proud.
Yes.
Right, so we got to the end of that season. We didn't go to Spain in 2020 because obviously the borders and everything. 2021, I was going for that clubs championship at North Gloucester. I was going for the Junior Supersport Cup championship. And I was getting on with it really well, the Yamaha. And disaster struck at round 3 after having a spark, a really good flying start at the first 2 rounds. I had a really big accident, and it's the same accident that literally it hinders me through my whole life today still. I dislocated my shoulder, snapped my rotator cuff, broke my humerus, and like pulled all of my muscles through my back. I got severe whiplash, a concussion, and something else. And it now means that I have to, every time I ride a bike, I have to have like a physio or my shoulder actually taped into my socket so that under heavy braking, my arm doesn't go like that and just pop out the back.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's just due to that snap at the bottom. Like, it doesn't hurt me moving around, but I just have to I have to sort of go with my arm. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that all happened and pretty much almost wrote me off. Well, it wrote me off for the rest of the year, really. We thought. I tried to go back and do 2 rounds after, but my arm was just so bad. I actually got medically unfit for the race meeting. This was on the Sunday when I'd already ridden for 2 days.
Wait, what? You're like, hold up.
Yeah.
You've already ridden for 2 days. You've done, I'm assuming, practicing qualifying, and they go, wait, no, you don't get to do this now?
Yeah.
No, so pretty much, I was so upset, really. I done Friday, Saturday, and I was loving it. It was boiling hot. We were at Cadwell, and I was loving it. I felt really good. Obviously, it was a bit achy. And I just, the weekend before that, been to Knockhill and ridden a G6R 1000 and G6R 600s and stuff, like, all day.
No, stop. Hang on. You're on an RC 390, or an R3, excuse me. Maybe 30 horsepower? Maybe.
Wait. So I think I had about into the 40s. I don't know the exact number. It was into the 40 horsepower.
So we're going to make the math easy for me. You're on a 40 horsepower motorcycle and your shoulder's coming out, but you decide to jump on something that's 120 and 210.
Yeah.
Okay, cool, whatever.
But the thing is, it was actually really easy to ride that G6. I didn't mind it. It got a bit sore. Don't get me wrong, it got really sore, but it wasn't like, oh, I can't carry on. This is ridiculous. It was like, nah, I'm riding that bike whether it kills me or not, sort of thing. Because it was I've never ridden one since, and I absolutely loved it. Best bike I've ever ridden. But yeah, going back to the original storyline. Going back to the original storyline. Riding the week before, 2 weeks or weekend before, absolutely fine. In the morning warm up on the Sunday, I came through gooseneck, the gooseneck, and I counter steer a lot because I was trying to and as I pushed, something like twanged in my arm, and like my hand was around my bar and it went like that. I come down Mansfield, I couldn't move my arm like this. I couldn't brake. So I back braked and changed down and sort of had to look at my hand to make sure I was braking. and pulled myself into the pits and said to my dad, I've done something to my arm. I need to go and see someone. I went down to the med centre, and they said, I don't know what your hospital told you. You need to be in a sling. You shouldn't have been able to ride, and this is like crazy. Why have they sent you away like this? So, blah blah blah. Did all that, recovered sort of as much as I could, and then I ended up doing a few wild cards at BSB. They didn't work out whatsoever. My bike kept breaking down. We actually went home early from one of the race weekends that year. First time I've ever just not competed and just gone home halfway through a weekend. Obviously not very good for me. But then one of my friends, he went and tried to look for parts around the teams, and happened to ask Alan Gardner from OMG, "Oh, Lissy needs this. Oh, have you got it? Who's Lissy?" Sort of thing. He told Alan about it. He was like, "Oh, right, okay." And then at the next round at Alton Park, when we finally got the bike sorted, I spoke to Alan, and he offered me to go to Spain with them in December.
Nice.
So
That's a heck of a team to go to Spain with too.
Right?
yeah, it's a bloody good team. I was so
Yeah.
happy that year. That it was a really phenomenal year. I'll sort of fast forward it all because it's just so much happened. Every single round, it's just blah, 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 all in my head. We went to Spain, had a fantastic time. Come home from Spain, New Year started, signed my contract, released in February. Everybody was somewhat good, somewhat bad year. It was a very to be fair, this year makes last year look like nothing sort of thing. I had a really fantastic year with them. I learned so much. I'm always going to be thankful for what they did, but we were sort of in two different places, so we parted ways at the end of the year. Yeah, I think I covered everything there. I think I'm not sure.
So after your little stint after the season with OMG,
Yeah.
you did Mount Oliver too, didn't you?
No, that was this year.
Okay.
Tell
Tell
not
us
quite
about
there
Mount
yet, but
Oliver.
that was
Okay.
so it's called Oliver's Mount in Scarborough.
Yeah, Oliver's Mount. Duh.
So I was 17 last year, so I couldn't because my birthday's in November. So I was 17 last year and I couldn't do it because I wasn't old enough, it was a kick in the teeth. So I was trying to jump through hoops to try and get them to let me do it, and it just wasn't happening. But it is an actual road. People use it every single day, but it's in a national park. It's in a little dog walking park, I think. Doesn't look like that to me, just like a racetrack to me. But
No, it looks like a golf cart path is what it looks like.
Right, yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
it's about that
the
big.
railroads nerd here. Yeah, I'm the railroads nerd of the duo here. Like, no, Oliver's Mount looks like a golf course that you set up a couple of hay bales. Let's stop real quick. Just in the sheer fact that, granted, your cars are a lot narrower than ours, so you can use a road that small, whereas we've got trucks, like pickup trucks.
You put a ram on that, it ain't going on it. It won't go around.
Forget it. Literally, the wheels are going to be like the road is going to go down the middle of the ram, and the tires are going to be on the grass in the hedges on the sides of it. So let's go with Oliver's Mount is a golf course with a racetrack in it that they used from the golf cart path. That's what it is.
Yeah,
and you're on a racing this shit.
Yeah, it isn't far off. It's a phenomenal track, really. You say that you couldn't get around it. I couldn't get my Kawasaki around it the first time I rode it because there's a hairpin there that I actually had to do a stoppie around. I had to literally stop my bike, bump it on the front, and try and turn it on its front wheel.
That's the one. It's real hair, and it goes up once you finish it. It's like going up a small rise, and you go go right. Is that
It's a left-hander. It's a left-hander. You go through the left-hander, and then you're over Jeffrey's jumps, and then you go right, left, up the hill, right over, and then through the straight. Can't remember what it's called, and if Andy Higgs is watching, I'm actually so sorry, because I just can't remember any of the corners. It's so tight. I had to do the stoppy thing, I had to put my foot down and like scoop myself around the corner, because BSB, the lock stop is just like that. You have no turning circle. So I got to this turning circle and I was like, I have no turning. Like, I'm going into a field. Like, what do I do? I panicked, slammed the brakes on and just bumped around the corner. And then I came into my dad like that lap and I was like, we need to do something because I can't turn. He's like, what do you mean we can't turn? I was like, Dad, if you don't change it, I'm going to go into a field. We need to change it. After that, it's absolutely fine. Like, I'll get on with it fine because you need to sort of sweep yourself into it to turn through. And yeah, but it's a. I'd love to have you guys come and watch because it's just.
Oh, trust me, it's on the list. Like, obviously, the Isle of Man is always going to be on the list, but I want to hit like Oliver's Mount. Aberdeen is Aberdare. Is that the one that's in Aberdare? That's the one that's right in the middle of town. Like, I want to hit that one. Like Oliver's Mount, Aberdare, and it's not the Northwest. There's another one in the North. I don't remember. That one. Yes. Yeah. That's the one on the Isle of Man that's even like, yeah, the TT's great, but the Southern 100, it's that little one. It's like a 7-mile course, but I bet you come down off that left bend at foot. Nope. I'm going to say, y'all do it.
as a like aspiring road racer, there's certain road races that I won't touch because there's a line. Like, maybe one day I will. 100 is not on my card at the minute. Like, never do it.
Never.
Not at the minute anyway. Perhaps in the future, maybe when I've got a bit more experience. But I'm just not at the minute. Not too sure. The TT, 100% Manx, whatever. Northwest, Aberdare. I think that was in the plans somewhere. Obviously done Oliver's Mount. I'm trying to think of any more. I don't think the Scaries runs anymore.
Because the insurance thing.
The
insurance thing.
But it's a very both of the Southern and everything. It's very interesting. But Scarborough's just. My mum and dad took me there after I finished my GCSEs as a reward because they knew I wanted to do it, and my dad thought, "Oh, I'll bring her there. She'll get put off of it because it's too close." No, it made me want to do it more.
Oh yeah.
So don't know what he expected, but.
For some reason I'm showing that we're live on Facebook here, but when I go to Facebook, I don't see us live at all. I don't know what's going on.
Really?
Yeah, that's why I kept looking down. I keep,
hang on a minute.
I keep messing with it. Like, well, hold up. Well, how come we're not?
I've got my big laptop sort of Xbox on.
I don't know.
On here.
I don't know what's going on either, but whatever. We're recording.
Yeah, we're recording, so it don't matter. It'll be out on Spotify and iHeart and all that. We actually have one viewer. They're probably watching it through YouTube. But usually, because I got green checks up here in my corner saying that we are live. When I look at it, I noticed that. I'm like, wait a minute, but
shall I go and ask my mum because she's probably watching it in the living room? She's literally over there.
Is she watching?
I think I'll go and ask.
All right.
I'm gonna get a nice little tour of my house if I just come really close to the
Well, trust me, it's a lot more interesting than looking at my walls.
Right.
Can you see the thing on Facebook? You can see it on Facebook. You can see it on YouTube. Okay. My mum can see it on YouTube, but not on Facebook.
Yeah, I don't. But I got everything's checked green on this app on StreamYard, but I don't know. Anyway, you know what? It doesn't matter.
Throw it out there after we get done recording it, and it's on YouTube. You can put it out there on Facebook too.
Yeah, because I can just take the YouTube video and put it straight out on Facebook and do it that way. But yeah, I just noticed that. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Oh, you're fine.
No, you're all right.
I do have to ask a question. What's the story on this VFR that you're riding in your Instagram? That thing looks entertaining, but it also looks like a wheelbarrow. God love it. I'm a VFR fan.
Yeah, me too.
What in God's name are you doing?
The whole plan was I was going to ride that at the Barry Sheen Classic. So there's 4 main events at Oliver's Mount. I'm going to get this wrong and Andy's going to hit me. The Spring Cup, Barry Sheen Classic, Cock of the North, and then the Gold Cup. Barry Sheen Classic is only specific machines from X year to Y year.
Yeah.
Although the classes did get opened up, whatever. My dad just messaged me saying, "Is the podcast happening?" Because I don't think he's seen it. Yeah, so it's from X to Y year, and we happen to have a sponsor who had Julian, who owns Jets Technical Services, who had this VFR. And he said, "Yeah, I'll let her run it at the Sheen Classic." And I was like, "Right, can I have a track day on it just to?" Because I'm the sort of person that I have to ride the bike.
Yeah,
I have to ride it before I race it, especially somewhere at Oliver's Mount. It's a big, heavy thing, whatever. So we went to Snetterton and we got hindered a little bit by the rain, but I kept breaking down on it. But it sounded like it was starving itself of fuel. I don't actually know what happened and what was wrong with it in the end, but we took it to Oliver's Mount, and we had one of the worst weekends I've ever had riding. It was nobody's fault. It just, the bike just wasn't, there was something not quite right, and we just couldn't figure it out the trackside. It's a very interesting bike. And when I actually got to ride it with full power, because the only thing I do know what was wrong with it, it was running on 2 cylinders rather than 4.
Yeah, that might be a problem.
Yeah. So after the weekend is over, we took it to Cadwell. It was running on all 4 cylinders, and I almost threw myself off the back of it, because it was like, I didn't expect it to be that fast when it was fully working. I opened the throttle down the straight and I went, "Oh my God!"
It's amazing when the bike actually works.
You're like, holy shit!
It was so good. I'd love to have another go, but at the end of that day at Cadwell, I absolutely destroyed the engine by accident. So it's just the old bike not really being able to cope. It's old. It happens. Like a classic bike, it happens to them. I was coming down the straight and it's clutch shift. I was using the clutch to sort of baby it. And I clunk clutching, and I had to roll to the side of the circuit. It wouldn't move. Like it was completely just stuck. I started crying because it wasn't my bike. I didn't know what to do. I was like, "Oh my God, I've literally blown up this old bike. What the hell am I gonna do?"
Right.
Pulled it in, and I'm trying to remember what it was. So
White smoke out of the pipe?
No. So the little tiny nuts that adjust cylinders or something, or the air gaps. One of them came out and got stuck between the piston. So obviously it's come out. Bang!
Dropped the valve. Dropped the valve.
That was it.
That was it, and that's out of the cards now for a long time.
If it makes you feel any better, my brand new BMW S1000 single R did that at 2,400 miles. It's not you.
Oh,
man, 2,400 miles. Yeah, that thing's like not even broke.
That's just out the door. That's done a step.
Right. Yeah.
It was bad. I'm on the way to work. That's why I asked if it was white smoke out of the pipe. I'm doing 40 miles an hour getting onto one of the ring roads going into where I was working at the time. Grab the clutch, coast over to the side, white smoke. I'm like, what the hell? Put it on the stand.
I didn't see any white smoke because obviously it was behind me, and I hadn't stopped freaking out for long enough to be able to figure out that something might be coming out the exhaust pipe. So I don't think there was any white smoke. But either way, I came in and I had to stand at the face of my sponsor and say, "I am so sorry." Not that he obviously did mind, but he didn't mind because it was,
It's one of those things. You're playing with what looks like a 95 VFR 750. Like, you're going to beat the pit. It's going to happen.
I can't remember what year it actually is. It's a really good bike. I did really enjoy riding it. Very, very nice. Very nice. I didn't expect it to be so sort of
grunty,
not forgiving. Sometimes you could feel like the way I was riding it, the front end couldn't keep up, and I feel like my front was like dipping away, which is still something I'd really like to figure out, and I'd like to be able to ride it again so that I can figure it out properly and really get to grips with it, because it was lovely. I really did love it. It was good.
They sound really good too. They sound really good on song. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, the V4 and that whine it produces. Yeah, it's like my RC51, but it's a twin,
Yeah.
right? It's got that whine, the gear driven cams. So you got
Mm-hmm.
that. Yeah, it's proper, dude. Daniel, dude, 2,400 miles, bro. What?
So this is what I figured. This is what I found out because luckily I was working at a BMW car dealership at the time, and at the time, if you had a BMW Welt like employee number, if you worked for BMW in some capacity, you got any BMW vehicle minus Rolls Royce at employee cost.
Nice.
Cool. I'm in the market for a new motorcycle. Guess what? I walk in to the dealership and I go, that one. It was a red S1000 single R. I've still got it. I coach on it, blah, blah, blah. But literally, I'm riding to work. That situation happens. I call my dad because I don't have the trailer handy. So I'm like, hey, can you come pick me up? He's like, yeah, I'll be in a minute. Throw it on the bike. I go to work. He takes the bike to the dealership. Mickey, who is my Ducati guy, it was the BMW Ducati dealer, and he was the service manager at the time. They get it off the trailer. They roll it up. He pulls up on the shift lever. He goes, yep, that's a motor. Rolls in, parks it. I walk in. And they go, this guy's beating the piss out of this bike. He's bouncing it off the rev limiter. He's abused this thing. They plug it up to the computer. They go, no, this guy's actually knows what he's halfway doing. Okay, warranty's going to cover this. Because the way that they do the motors from BMW, it all comes in one big thing. So it's all in one motor, spark plugs,
everything,
transmission, everything. It's full of fluids. Everything's ready to go. You just pull the old one out and put the new one in. So come to find out, so one of my really good friends, Adam, is the guy that did the motor swap for me. He comes in, I'm walking in, he goes, hey, you want to see what actually happened? I'm like, hell yeah, I want to see a blown up motor. This is always cool. So he goes, look down in there. The valve on one of the exhaust ports on cylinder 4 is hanging down in the bottom. So I'm like, what? And he goes, so this happened to about 15 bikes worldwide. The valve keeper didn't get put in right. So it worked its way out, drops the valve, punches a hole in the water jacket, and hydrolocks the bike.
Yep.
So, and the fact
that makes me feel sick.
Oh,
Yeah,
don't.
right?
No. BMW covered it. Granted, it took them a while to get a motor. There was only like 2 in the States. But, yeah, they covered it.
I'm with Lizzie, dude. I feel sick to my stomach, bro. If that happened to me on my brand new bike,
I
feel
exactly like I've just blown the VFR up all over again.
Who cares? It wasn't my fault. It wasn't anybody's fault, but whoever put it together. I don't care.
Can you see my face has gone just
white?
Yeah, I can. Yeah.
But it's one of those things. It's like, look, shit happens. Like, it happens. Like, I mean, it's not nearly as bad as some of the other stuff that I've had to deal with in cars. Okay, so there's been some instances that like warranties that affect, or recalls that affect 500,000 vehicles and not just 12. Yeah. So whatever, So it's like, again, I got it back in about a month and a half later with a brand new motor. So it's like, all right, cool. I get to go break this thing in again. And it's been running great ever since. I coach on it and I ride it on the street every once in a while. So who cares? I ain't worried about it.
Yeah.
If I blow the SV up, then I'm going to be crying because I don't have $5,000 to spend on an SV motor.
Right. Hey, Lizzie, have you ever raced the SV650?
No, I've ridden the SV650. I rode my friends for a few laps at Mallory Park. The problem was I was 14. And just so tiny.
Yeah.
Hadn't probably never set foot in a gym just yet because I didn't really. I'll fully admit when I just started, I didn't really take it very sort of. I'd do all the racing, take all the racing seriously, did all my social media, but just wouldn't go to the gym. So, but yeah, I have ridden one. It was fantastic. I loved it. I did love it. I want to get another one. To be fair, I want to get one. Excuse me, as an actual race bike. To race,
if you have questions, I follow you on Instagram now. Ask any questions. Holler at me. Yeah. I will either have the answer or I can get it for you real quick. Or I can send you to the people, or I can send you to the people that know it over there.
Yeah. I've got to be fair that in the road racing community, what make up the mini twin class is all SVs.
Yeah. That's what I'm super twins on SV.
Super Twins, Mini Twins, all SV650s, or the Kawasaki, I think it's ER.
Yeah, the ER.
Something.
We can't race them here. We don't race the ERs here just because of rules and scarcity of motorcycles. In all honesty, because the ER didn't
Is
take
it not
off.
the emission? I thought it was the emissions or something.
No. Emissions.
No.
Emissions are here. Well, so the rules for the Moto America Twins Cup, you can't put an older motor in a newer frame.
Yeah.
So the newer Ninja 650 motors aren't nearly as good because the EU5 emissions regulations that are over there that they've brought over here, and the frame is a lot softer and everything. It's not as good a track bike as it is over there because you get to use the older motorcycle and base it off like the 2009 or 12 bike or whatever. Yeah. Whereas here we can't do that because just the way the rules are and the way everything's homologated. We've had one or two guys try and run it, but it's just not. And honestly, for Twins Cup here in the States, the SV is not competitive anymore either. It's all crazy big money R7s and even big
RS660s,
huge money RS660s and bigger money R7s. So that's what it is.
No, it's
facts. See, we don't really have. We've only just sort of BSB have only just announced they're bringing in this Sport Bike Cup, so we haven't really. We haven't seen any racing yet.
It's like literally it turns into Superbike Light. That's what it turned into over here.
Over here, yeah.
Like
there's Twins Cups that's got like 80 grand in it, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Oh,
no bullshit, Lizzie.
So there's a kid that raced Twins Cup this year that was turning lap times at places like Road Atlanta and Barber, especially at Road Atlanta. He was on a built RS660 that he would have been on toward the middle front of the grid in stock 1000.
Wow.
Yeah. Like there's 2 or 3 guys that were flat out, like literally at Brands Hatch. These things are going to be hilarious. Alton is going to be really fun.
I think they're just going to be ballistic everywhere, to be fair.
Yeah.
I just think they're just going to be mad. I can't even imagine riding one at Silverstone. Or Thruxton.
Silverstone is going to be Silverstone. The what's the little track? What they do like 30 laps of? The international circuit, is that what it is?
No, the national is the
national one.
Yeah,
the national circuit for that Sport Bike Cup is going to be. That's going to be NASCAR on 2 wheels. It's going to get bad.
We don't run British Superbikes. We don't run a big circuit. We only do the little one.
Yeah.
I really wish I could do the international circuit because it's just so. Oh, I've played it on MotoGP, F122, and
Ride 4.
Yeah, Ride. Yep. Oh no, it's not on Ride 4.
Oh no, it's not. You're right. It's not.
No, it's not
on MotoGP. Yeah. Okay.
Which is weird because the same people that do the MotoGP game do the World Superbike and Ride, but whatever.
Yeah, it's confusing.
So, but to be honest, I haven't played Ride in a long time. I've seen the new one come out, and I might after Christmas when it comes out on the after Christmas deals.
Yeah.
Sometimes on Xbox they decide they're going to do after Christmas deals or something, but
Brands Hatch Indy is going to be dumb with those things. Brands Hatch Indy.
We do the full circuit for but I mean clubs. I think club circuits do Indy sometimes.
Yeah, no, they do that's what I'm thinking of wrong. Yeah. Anyway. Yeah. Yeah, no, that would be.
It's going to be a good show.
Stupid.
It's going to be a good show.
Yeah, it is. It's speaking of play. Obviously, you have an Xbox, right? Obviously, you said that. I got a PlayStation. Well, we'll have to change gamer tags and get on there and race together sometime for sure.
I'll be definitely. Honest with you, mate. I don't play racing games as much. I was thinking about this earlier, and I was like, what if he asked me about what do I if I have an Xbox and play?
So what are you playing?
Well, what do you play?
So I do dabble in, but my friends who play racing games, they just take it way too seriously, and it just I lose all enjoyment of it. And I'm like, I'm playing it just to have a bit of fun. And don't get me wrong, I'll go on there and go and do Cadwell, and I'll go on the British tracks, and I'll take it a bit seriously.
Right.
But I don't go on there and start screaming and throwing my controller around. I'm into I'm really into some game that my boyfriend's got me into as well. Ark Survival Ascended. I don't know why I've started playing it. I've just got really into it. But I play F1. I do have Ride on here. I do play it sometimes. I've got Rocket League and I do all sorts of stuff. I'm an all sorts gamer. I do everything.
Yeah.
But I do enjoy my F1 racing and sometimes bike racing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I have a good friend that's actually the Moto E world champion, Jack Hammersley.
Jack Hammersley,
yeah, man, what a brilliant lad, man! I can't wait to get on there and play. But
I
honestly,
wish
Lizzie,
I-
I'm nervous, man, because he's a world champ and I suck, dude. So I already know.
I don't really know Jack personally. I know. I think I've met his mum because she does the media for
Dawn.
one of the teams. Dawn, yeah. But I saw Jack win it, and I was just like, that's fair play. That's really good.
That's proper, yeah. Especially how the season went for him, and he come back at the end. It was, it was good stuff.
It was brilliant.
It's
unreal. It's unreal that we can do sort of stuff like that nowadays. I mean, I remember in COVID when they did the virtual MotoGP races and stuff, but no, that's just crazy. Out of the whole world, he's the best one at gaming, sort of thing.
Straight up.
Yeah,
champ of the world. That's it. That's proper, right? That's so now when I text them on WhatsApp, obviously I'm always like, "What's up, champ?" Like, you know what I'm saying? Because what's up, champ? Yeah.
I'll say this: I've been number one on the leaderboards in Ride 4 a few times, but that's just like goofiness. I'm running like supermotos and like the little monster and stuff, but not the big bikes. It's like whatever. But it's like, all right, cool.
Right.
Hey, I missed that show, but it is what it is.
Well, I thought I was fast, and I was like, you know what? I'm whooping this computer's ass. I'm gonna take it online.
No, don't do that.
No, I'm not even close. I was like, you know what? I'm coming back offline, and I'm going back to play Moto 3. I'm gonna start to feel good about myself again. Yeah, it's good stuff. So, Lizzie, obviously, what's the plans for 2024?
Sorry, I just need to let my dog back out of my bedroom.
No, you're
decided
good.
to join us. Go on, Milo. Thank you. Right, I'll sit back down again. Oh gosh. Right. 2024. We've got plans. Everything's a bit. I've had offers and as such, but we're just sort of working out what's sort of best and going forward. I've had offers. That's all I can really say.
It's
okay.
I will be around.
You're doing better than me.
It's good.
We will be around. We're hopefully going to have a better year than we did this year, because this year was something else. Yeah.
It happens.
It does. And everybody.
But hey,
everybody.
You've got plans, and you get to talk about it next year. So there you go.
Yeah. Like everybody's excited. Yeah. I know I am.
Sure. I am too.
Yeah, it's going to be good stuff. So, what's your favorite racetrack?
Road racing or track racing?
Both.
That's not fair.
Yeah, it is.
She said that's not fair.
Completely fair. You get to do both. You know what we don't get to do? Race on the roads legally.
Yeah, okay? Right.
So
I've got one track and I've got one road.
That's perfect.
One road. So my favourite racetrack is Thruxton. It'll always be Thruxton. It will never change. My favourite road track, which I think actually might be my favourite track ever, is Oliver's Mount. Has to be, because it's just, and it's not even like just the track itself. It's just the community there. Yeah. It's so friendly. Because I when I left BSB, I had no intention of ever I just wanted to stay out of the way of everybody. I didn't really like mixing with anybody. I just sort of kept myself to myself. And I didn't always like that, because I'm very friendly. I'll talk to anybody, sort of thing. Went to Oliver's Mount, and I never had to leave my awning to go and see anybody. Everyone came and saw me. Racers, everyone. Officials, photographers, marshals. If they weren't messaging me, if they were on a post somewhere, they were actually in my awning talking to me. And yeah, you got the odd few at BSB, but it was just such a nice, friendly feeling to sit there at Oliver's Mount and have people actually come over, riders come over. I mean, my last round at Oliver's Mount, I shared an awning with Mark Goodins. I've been looking up to Mark Goodins for years.
Nice.
Me and him used to share a leather manufacturer when I just started racing. It was like, I really want to be like Mark. And then next thing you know, I'm literally sat next to him. Our bikes are next to each other. We're sharing an awning. We're sharing like a living space for the weekend. And it just, it was like, I don't understand what's going on right now.
Right.
At all, sort of thing.
Right.
I just think the whole community at Rhodes is just lovely. I love
It
everybody
is.
there. They're
Yeah.
like my little family.
I can't wait.
It's brilliant.
It's on my bucket list. I got a mate that actually races there too, Joey Thompson. Did you run into him out there?
Joey. Yeah. Me and I haven't spoken to Joey very much, but his dad, brilliant. I love his dad to bits.
Yeah.
And his dogs. I like his dogs.
Yeah, of course, right. Everybody loves dogs, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah. So do you read books, Lizzie?
Oh, yeah, thousands.
So what book are
I've
you
got a
currently
lot
reading
behind
right
me.
now?
So I've got 3 on the go.
I love it.
Sounds like me.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. 2. Sorry, I've got 2. So at the minute I'm reading a book that my partner got for my birthday. I got Jeremy Clarkson's Diddley Squat Farm, the book. And I've got the Divergent series. I've started that. I go through a lot. I've got loads of books in there. All of them I've read, but can't actually can't heart it to part with them because I just love having them there. It's nice decorations as well. But yeah, I've got Divergent, which is my fiction, and then my non-fiction is Jeremy Clarkson's Diddley Squat Farm.
That one looks entertaining. I have to get through. I've got to get through some other stuff before I can get to stuff like to that one.
It's not actually with me. I don't think. I think I've left it at Jordan's. Because I just read whenever. I'll probably go before I go to bed, have a little bit of a read through my Divergent and stuff. But
as you should.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, for sure. I don't physically read. I listen to audiobooks. I find myself that if I do read, Lizzie, I'm like, I'm out, right? I'm reading the back of my eyelids.
That's why I read though, is because it just relaxes.
Yeah, it does. It relaxes. It does.
Yeah.
I'm actually reading, listening to Tom Shatterly. He's one of the guys in Black Hawk Down. One of the guys that went in there and saved, went in there during that battle of Mogadishu and all that stuff. Of course, I got all of Guy Martin's books. Listened to every single Guy Martin, Shaky Byrne, all of them. Michael Dunlop.
Every year, right, for Christmas, I think I bought my dad an autobiography from somebody racing wise. I've actually ran out of books to get him.
Oh, John Hopkins.
John Hopkins. Trust me.
That's me. Look, you notice me and Daniel said that.
Same.
Listening. I don't know if we've got that one. I think he's already got it.
Well, you're gonna have
if
to
he
check.
doesn't, that's what he needs to get.
Yeah,
that book
I'll go and look in our collection.
Nuts. Crazy.
If he's not already got it, I think I did get him it last year. Did I get him it last year, or did I get him it for his birthday?
I got another one. Is Boris Mahalovic. He's a good mate of mine. He has a podcast called Moto PG. Him, Fredo, and Tugs. We actually had all of them on. And Boris has some books, and he actually sent me all of his books, and one of them is on audio. I'll pull it up and tell you the name. But they're really good. It's a different type of read, but it's an epic read, right?
Well, all I had, when I was at secondary school, they made a big thing of reading at secondary school. So you had to read a certain amount of pages a week. And every time I had a book, if I'd finished a book, the next book I'd go on to was another my mum just come through the door. We've already got Levered by John Hopkins.
Okay. So does it have to be racing related? Does the book for the gift, does it have to be racing related?
No, not. I don't think I've always given him a racing related one. I've got him Jamie Whitmore. I think actually he already bought that. He's got Jamie Whitmore, which I've read twice. Which is really ironic because Jamie's one of my one good mate of mine now, which is crazy.
Listen, I'm a huge fan of Jamie Whitmore. I met him out there at Cadwell, and I asked him to come on the podcast, Lizzie, and he's like, absolutely, to email his rider school. I think is what it is, right?
Cool.
And when I got on there, the website was being redone, so I haven't checked back on there. I'm actually going to shoot him an email.
I'll message you the relevant contacts. I'll message you them and see if, or I can get in contact with Jenny myself, and I'll just ask you. I've got a podcast to do. Wants podcast with you. But I've read Jamie's twice. Dad's got all of Guy Martin's ones. He's got his Lops. He's got Dunlops. He's got Shaky. He's got John Hopkins, obviously. And then he has a lot of, I think he's got a Ricky Hatton book. He's got loads of comedians' books.
Does he have any of the Anthony Bourdain stuff?
No.
Kitchen Confidential. Don't ask questions. Just get it. Kitchen Confidential by Anthony Bourdain.
I haven't even read that.
Okay.
Don't ask questions. Do not pass go to collect $200.
Really?
That book is amazing.
So
Kitchen
his
Confessions.
comedians, he likes,
Confidential.
He likes Bert Kreischer and Joe Rogan and all of those. But I don't know if Bert or Joe have books.
Oh,
So
Joey Diaz does.
yeah.
Joey Diaz called Tremendous. I just got it. I haven't started it yet. Joey Diaz Tremendous. If it's anything like what that man has said on any show, that book's going to be bananas.
Yeah.
Like Joey Diaz one.
We listen whenever we've been racing before. We listen to all sorts of podcasts. Like my dad got me into like podcasts as a whole, but the first thing I ever listened to was one of the ones where it was Joey Diaz, Joe Rogan, Bert Kreischer, and
Sober October or something. Yeah,
and they all got absolutely smashed.
Yep.
And it was the funniest thing I've ever listened to. One of the funniest.
I've got another one for you. You need to listen to. This is a comedian. This is a comedy one. It's called "Are You Garbage?"
I haven't even.
Yeah,
heard that.
I've seen that.
Oh,
I haven't.
Chris, dude, this is so. It's two and they call themselves this. It's two Philadelphia Goombas, right? So they bring in comedians, or they'll have just like they call it the family show. They literally, they just sit there and they ask the comedians questions like, "How'd you get started? What's this, that, and the other thing?" Blah blah blah. And it's like they literally just ask them, "So, how many suits do you own?" You know, that like
random stuff. Yeah.
Just random questions, and they go through, and some of the stuff is
really,
the one that
maybe my dad would be into. So, Dad, if you're listening, get on that podcast.
Are You Garbage? The one with the comedian named Miss Pat. That one I listened to back to back. It ended, and I just started again. I was sitting there eating dinner at like Chipotle or something, and I was laughing so hard. I had people coming up to me asking me if I was okay. I'm in a public place, bent over, like crying. I'm laughing so hard at this. Like that one, like just Are You Garbage? Just that show is. Oh my God, it's so funny.
There's two I listen to. There's obviously Chasing the Racing. Sometimes that has been.
I love that one.
Oh, that one's great.
I love that one.
I've been on that one as well. I was on it. I think I was episode 79 or something.
Yep.
No,
you
that
was.
was Tommy Bridewell's. Bit further back. Me and Katie handed it. That one sometimes. I mean, the most recent episode with Tommy Bridewell. Oh my God, I haven't listened to that one
yet.
Yeah.
When I'm at work, I'm allowed to listen to music when the store closes after 9 o'clock. So I put my earphones in, and I was listening to it last night, and I actually had to stop working because I was like laughing so much. Yeah. But the other one I listened to is by a radio DJ called Jordan North and an etiquette expert called William Hanson. It's called Help I Sexted My Boss, and it is so funny.
Honestly, God, that sounds fun.
That's awesome.
It's pretty much. I hope I get I'm plugging them, so I hope that maybe somebody who listens to your podcast also listens to theirs. They pretty much get people to send in like dilemmas that they've had and what they should do to solve the dilemma. Because obviously you get Jordan, who's from Burnley, and is like, "Oh, hey, the lads," and stuff like that. And then you've got William, who's very prim and proper and knows the proper way to do things. And they just counteract each other so well. But then obviously I've got you guys. I've got.
Thank you for that.
What an honor, Lizzie. Yes, what an honor. That's what I was going to ask next question. What about this? Yeah, what about us?
Yeah, I do have yours as well. I've got to apologise. I was going to wear my pin the gas t-shirt. It's in the wash.
It's okay.
It's wet. I couldn't wear it.
It's okay.
I've got blue on, so that's sort of,
Oh.
I've got you guys on there, and I found another one. I can't remember what it's called. I literally listened to the first episode last night. It's a load of Scousers interview people that aren't Scouse, and it's just the person being interviewed going, "What did you say? Sorry."
Yeah.
All the time because they can't understand the word they're saying.
It's kind of like listening to Guy Martin, right? You're like, wait, what?
Oh,
What did you just say?
I adore that man, but it's just like, what? Hey, stop for a minute.
Hold up.
When he's on telly and he's doing interviews, I think he just speak like I swear to God, they wind it up so that he goes quicker. Because when you speak to him in person, he's very
like
actually
that,
he's quite calm.
Yeah.
He's very nice. He's really nice.
I've got one of his. I was one of the first guys here in the States to snag one of his AGV replica helmets. So
Really?
it's like I'm like, because I was literally, it was the AGV course and I saw it. I'm on the phone with my AGV rep because I was working at a dealership at the time. Like, the second these come available, I'm sending you money. Like, literally, yeah.
My first helmet, when my dad, before I started racing, way before I started racing, me and my dad used to have me as a pillion rider on his all of his bikes, and I obviously had to get all the gear and stuff. And my dad bought me a Bumblebee replica helmet, Guy Martin one. I've still got it. It obviously doesn't fit me anymore. I've still got it to this day. I don't actually get along with AGV as a fit because my head's a weird shape. So I'm really gutted as I've got older. They just don't fit my head anymore. Otherwise, I'd have them all the time.
What do you currently wear now?
So I'm very loyal to my HJC because they're just so comfortable.
I got an HJC.
Had it, girl.
They really. It's a difficult one because I got put onto it by my friend Ben, who unfortunately passed away in 2020. I haven't looked back. The service I got from the guys at Oxford Products who do the servicing on my helmets, they're just second to none. Like, their customer service is amazing. I get my helmets, my HJCs through Oxford. I have an off. What have I?
You've got a 1 in and I'm looking at your Instagram now. You've got a 1 in and R for 11.
Yep.
This is my crashed R for 11 from 2022.
Proper.
Hey, look, again, if you're gonna do it right.
Yeah, this is the biggest crash. Well, no, second biggest crash I've ever had. It was genuinely scary. I've never actually been scared of an aftermath of a crash.
Right.
And it's very interesting. So, it wasn't good. So I high-sided. I was 8th in qualifying. It was wet, and you know me. I'm not one of them top-level riders just yet. I say yet.
You'll get there. Get in the gym, you'll get there.
Yeah, I went to the gym today. I've been
At it, girl.
today. I'm getting proper back into it after the season.
At it, girl.
Yeah, I'm sort of mid-pack towards the back usually, and it was raining, and I'm like, this is my sort of track condition sort of thing. So I went out, second lap, 8th, crossed the line, and then I went into the first corner going, I've gone a bit too hot. So tried to compensate for it and just sort of brake a little bit, not a lot, just to sort of try and carry the speed through. Open the throttle again, and next thing I know, I'm all the way sideways and I can see rich energy down the side of my bike. And I'm like,
oh no.
Oh, this isn't going to end well.
Yeah.
And then I'm pretty much backward handspringing down the tarmac. I never hit gravel until I stopped moving. I smacked my head about 4 times. I was literally just ragdolling head feet down the track. Landed back first in the gravel. My airbag suit was like this, so I was turtled and I couldn't breathe because it was that tight. So I was like panicking and started scrambling for my thing, but I can't feel anything other than my handlebars in my gloves. Like, I can't do anything else other than handlebars. So
straight
I'm scrambling for my thing, straight to panic mode when I couldn't breathe. And these marshals come over. I can see them like over the top of my helmet, like, you're right. And I'm like this, and they can't understand. And this other woman just comes over. She kneels down and goes like that. And she went, "Is that better, darling?" I said, "Yeah, God,
yes, thank you."
See, I hear that story and my brain goes, obviously you've never been to Singapore.
Right.
Yeah, I couldn't feel my feet at first, and I was like really sort of, what have I done? Like, this is serious sort of thing, because my neck was doing all sorts of stuff. I was like, I can't actually feel my feet. And then talking to them over, they were like, "Well, do you know where you are? Do you know what's going on?" I was like, "Yeah, that's fine." And then she started trying to take my boot off. I was like, "Don't touch my foot, please." It was I don't want to show off my slippers, but I'm wearing nice slippers. This is my
Nice.
She killed Chewbacca for those. Like, what
Yeah,
are you
right.
doing? Like,
Highland cows.
did you adopt them? Did you adopt those slippers? Because apparently that's the new thing. You can adopt a Highland Scottish cow now.
A lot of people are calling me a Highland cow at the minute because I've just had my hair dyed and pierced my nose.
Oh
So,
no.
Yeah. But yeah, I pretty much heavy sprained my ankle, and yeah, they were trying to get my boots off to see if my ankle was like in my boot. Took me to the med centre and didn't find a concussion at first, and then they let me leave after getting all my levers off, and I crutched myself back to the hospitality unit, and I sat down, and about 45 minutes passed me in 5 minutes. I was literally just sat there, pale, blank. Someone brought me water, pulled up a chair and sat next to me. I didn't notice. I was just completely gone. Dad was like, "You okay?" And I was like, "Yeah, I feel sick." And then James Ellison, bless his heart, ran to the med centre. They got me an ambulance. I went back to the med centre and they said I had a concussion. And I was like, yeah, that sort of makes a bit of sense. I mean,
Right.
if I grab that again.
I met James when he was racing AMA here for a year.
Yeah, James is lovely. His partner as well sponsors me. I need to get all the dust off. God, it's dusty. You can see sort of like this bit.
Yeah, you smacked the piss out of that. Oh my God.
It's cracked. Like all of this isn't like, this is paint. All the white is just paint coming away. But all of that's a dent. That's flat.
Yeah.
There.
Yeah, you smacked the hell out of
came off. This actually came off and I pressed it back on. With hope that it was going to make it look a little bit better, but it actually, in reality, made it look a little bit worse.
It's not going to help anything.
That helmet's way far gone now.
Oh, yeah.
That was my season over, second to last round. That was it last year. My ankle made a perfect recovery as well. I was quite lucky because my physio actually said to me, you might find that now, if you're trying to run long distances, that you can't because your ankle starts twinging, but I'm absolutely fine. Can run my 5K, whatever.
But
yeah, it was weird because it was almost like on the X-ray they initially said like a fracture because it looked like the muscle had pulled away a fleck of bone from the knobbly bit of my ankle.
Yeah.
It's just the angle they did it at. But it was a very heavy sprain. I had bruising and swelling for weeks. Like my wreck.
Yeah.
They're almost worse than a break.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. When I did my shoulder, all of the muscle damage was hurt worse than just the break on its own.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So Lizzie, favorite music? What are you listening to?
Oh God, that's the worst question.
I'm sorry, right?
It's a mix of things. I don't think I've got Spotify here to be able to show it. I don't think it's logged in because otherwise I can just tell you exactly what I use or what I listen to. I have certain playlists I use. So I'm into everything. I don't have a favorite. I'm really boring.
I listen to everything too.
Yeah, I'm not logged in on here because of my new Xbox. I like Eminem. Do you like Eminem?
I love Eminem. Who don't, right? Yeah.
I like sort of Dizzy Rascal and that sort of stuff, but I also like Mumford & Sons and Kings of Leon, Oasis.
Yep.
My favourite band is the Arctic Monkeys.
Nice.
Oh no, I'm not wearing it. I'm wearing my team hoodie. I thought I was wearing my Arctic Monkeys hoodie. I actually got to see them in concert this year.
Oh, cool.
It was my first ever concert. And
I bet that was proper, band. Wasn't it? Yeah.
It was so good. And the best thing about it was we went to my partner's home city. He lives in Coventry. Well, from Coventry. I got to see my favourite band and they played my favourite song first on the set list. And because I'm a little bit of a geek, I had to look for what they're going to play first.
Right.
And I was like, right, they should play this song, and then that'll play. And it went straight away, and I was like, best day of my life. And then the rest of the concert was just me sat there like, I've used all my energy up on the first song. Yeah, Arctic Monkeys, Foo Fighters, Chili's, Red Hot Chili Peppers, Muse, Nirvana.
Yeah. All those are on my list.
Yeah, I watched a video the other day of the Red Hot Chili Peppers drummer.
Flea. No, not Flea.
No,
yes.
Yeah.
Chad Plummer. I think Chad something.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he played a 30 Seconds to Mars song.
I've seen that bit.
Have you seen that?
I've seen that.
Good.
Have you seen Jared Leto reacting to that?
Yes, I've seen it. I saw the video right after it. It's just amazing. But yeah, I'm into all that sort of. My dad brought me up on all that. Foo Fighters is what was my thing. Yeah. Mum got me on like Eagles and Mumford & Sons. Sort of mum and dad were both Mumford & Sons. Kings of Leon, but yeah, all sorts. But I do like rap. I do like normal sort of music. I say normal, like pop music.
Yeah.
I do like that. I mean, my Spotify rap was all over the place this year. I don't know if you guys get Spotify rap, don't you?
Yeah.
Mine was all over the place.
I've been on Young Dolph here lately. That's who I've been listening to a lot of. Oh, you gotta check out Young Dolph, girl. Dolph is that dude. Dolph got killed, but what a couple years ago, but what separated Dolph from any other rapper out there is he did it all on his own. He didn't have no record deals. He turned down a $22 million record deal just to stay independent. Yes, Lizzy.
Here's the thing. That kind of deal, this is because I live in Nashville. I'm surrounded by the music business.
Like,
literally surrounded by it. Yeah. But so they give you that deal. That's to make the product that they're going to sell that you might make money on the back end. Yeah. So, and that $22 million deal might lock you in for 4 albums. Yeah. So it's also, I can see, okay, wow, that's a big paycheck right off the top. You still got to pay tax on it.
Yeah.
You still got to make albums, but that's all you've got to make your product with.
Yeah, and then you get that money, but you've got to spend it all immediately on actually making your own music. You don't get a salary just yet until you.
Then the only way you're going to make money on that is touring and merch sales. You're not going to make any money on that because you're not making any money on streams. So it is what it is. So no, I completely understand. Stay independent. Keep mess with it.
Yeah, but he's good. He's good. So I have another question I want to ask you, and I ask everybody this: celebrity crush.
I don't pay attention to people enough.
No,
honestly, no. As people I look up to, I don't have a celebrity crush.
Okay.
Not really.
Who's your favorite road racer?
Oh, they're all friends with me.
I know. Listen, Lizzy, I get asked that question too, and I tell you about, man, I'm friends with all of them. They're all my favorite, right? But let me ask you this: Valentino Rossi or Marc Marquez?
He's the GOAT. He'll always be the GOAT. But my favorite road racer is my friend Dom.
Yep,
probably
Dom.
One of my heroes. Is honestly one of the nicest, most genuine bloke. We've stayed up till gone midnight just chatting absolute waz about all sorts of things. He's helped me so much. He's the strongest guy I know. I've got so much time for Dom, so much respect for him. He just love him to bits.
Don Robertson, right? Yeah.
Dom Herbertson, he does the Chasing the Racing podcast.
I know he does. Listen, I would love to. I tried to get up. I looked for him at Cadwell, but he wasn't there because he was actually
he was away. He was at,
the Isle of Man, wasn't he?
Yeah,
at the TT. Yes.
On my calendars.
Yes, I would love to get Dom on the podcast. I'm a huge fan of him.
He's just amazing. He's like my my coach, life coach.
Yeah, so a buddy of mine actually here in America was like, man, you ever heard of this group called Chasing the Racing when I first started getting into podcasting, right? And I was
Chasing the Racing.
Yeah, I was like, no, dude, but Chasing the Racing. And then obviously I become this huge fan, obviously, of Chrissy and Dom and the tragic event. So when I was at Cadwell, actually I got a Chrissy Rouse hat. So I had one Pin to Gas podcast that I had made just to go to Cadwell Park to wear. It was the only one in the world, right? So I'm walking through the paddock and I meet this guy, Steven. I walk up to him and I was like, hey man, where'd you get that Chrissy Rouse hat at? Because I wanted to buy one. He's like, I ordered it offline, blah, blah, blah. I said, okay, thanks, mate. I turn around, walk away. He comes back up to me and he takes the hat off and he gives it to me. So I take my pin to gas hat off and I give it to him. Right. So we traded hats right then and there. And it was just all the love that I felt from everybody over there. That's how my whole weekend went. It was magical. But I've been huge fans of them ever since.
Yeah. I was really lucky. I actually knew Dom first before I knew Chrissy. I didn't know Chrissy awfully well, but I spent a lot of time with him through 2020, maybe 2021. I went flat tracking together. I'm friends with his sister. I'm quite close knit with Dom most of the time. And I actually have the first ever Chasing the Racing hat. I was at a flat tracking event with Chrissy. He sort of invited me, but didn't invite me.
Right.
He was going to Pete Bose to test it out, and he was like, "Oh, you should come along." So we went, and I said, "Oh, are you selling those hats yet? I'll buy one when they come out." And he said, "Just have this one." And turns out that was the first ever. I don't know where it is. I wore it to the gym. Oh, here. Hang on. I probably have it on.
Yeah.
There it is.
There it is. Chasing the Racing.
But yeah, I didn't wear it for a while after we lost Chrissy, because I thought maybe I should try and keep it a bit. I was like, no, I then wore it everywhere I've been racing, and I will wear it everywhere I go. Because it was, that one really hit me hard. I'd already lost Ben a few years ago, and my uncle was really unwell just before we lost him. So it was like everything was coming a bit down.
That way, yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't good. I mean, it was the same weekend I did my ankle, but I'm really lucky to have spent the time I did with him and have the memories. I mean, we've got Scarborough memories from where before I even raced there. This story's been around the block so many times, but we were at Scarborough. I was watching Dom, and they were doing podcasts. So Chrissy was there, and Dom's girlfriend, and all of our friends. Like, we had DC racing friends and everything. And I went away to have my dinner. It was about 8 o'clock at night. Went away to have my dinner. I'd just been partying with them, and they were heading back down to the paddock. Now, the campsite and the paddock are like that. Like, there's a big walkway. You got to walk all the way down the stairs. The stairs are like this. It's just, but it's all covered by woods. And Chrissy had a camera drone, and accidentally flew it into a tree. So Dom, a tree hugger or whatever he does, climbed the tree, up the tree and was trying to get it, and Chrissy went, just don't worry about the drone, excuse my French, fuck the drone off and just get down, just worry about getting down safely, yeah? And Dom just went, Chrissy, it's a bit too late for that now, mate. Because he was so far up this tree, and I was so lucky. I just got there because Lauren, Dom's girlfriend, rang me and said, "You need to come and see this. Dom is up a tree." I dropped my fork, my bowl, everything, and I ran. Got there, and I got to see that moment, and it was so funny.
Brilliant.
Chrissy was
That's hilarious.
Best bloke ever. He was so funny. He had his like pure like out of the box moments where it was just like, I didn't expect you to say that sort of thing.
Right.
Yeah, he's brilliant. Those two together. Yeah. Man.
Yeah. They made a great dynamic, and I'm so glad that actually Chrissy's sister, man, I can't remember her name. Grace, that's it. And Dom actually kept it going.
Yeah. It's a brilliant. It's just so admirable. Is that the word?
It is.
Yeah. Dyslexic. It's so admirable. She's just been so, like, it's almost like it never happened. Like, that sounds really awful, but she's just gone about everything so amazingly, done everything just right, and it's just so. I'm so proud of her.
Yeah, me too.
Just being friends with her as well. It's like I've seen her. She works hard behind the scenes, really hard. I went to a Bennett's guest karting day, and I was one of the riders there. And she just works so hard for everything she does. It's fantastic. Everything. She's just so knowledgeable about all the things that it's all come from Chrissy as well. It's just amazing.
Yeah, Dom says she's the backbone of it for sure.
Oh yeah,
100%.
without being horrible to Dom, if Grace wasn't there doing it, it just Dom would just have no idea whether it's recording or not. And
He said, "Is this microphone on?"
Yeah, they're such a good team together. And I'm so glad that they decided to keep going. It's really great. It's really great.
It is. It is. Yeah, it's magnificent. It's one of my favorite podcasts for sure. Yeah, absolutely. Definitely. I look forward to listening to
100%.
Yeah, it is. Favorite movie, Lizzie?
Oh, I do have a favorite, but it's really hard to pick one. I'm
all right, top
Disney
three.
Fan.
Top three movies.
Top three, fantastic.
Yeah, top three.
Lilo and Stitch, Full Metal Jacket, and that one's really hard because it's like.
Well, I had you've got a really wide berth, wide gamut here. I'm waiting to finish this off because you went from cute, adorable, wonderful Disney animated movie to Arlie Ermy not acting.
Right.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, this is really hard. I've got so many. I love my movies. I love Disney. I like military because my granddad is in the military. I went to go in the military. I was in the Army Cadets. My partner's in the forces. Great granddad military. But me and my dad, I remember the first time I watched Full Metal Jacket with my dad. I watched it. I was about 8, maybe. Really bad saying this, but yeah, I was about 8 maybe, and we watched Full Metal Jacket. I absolutely loved it. I thought it was hilarious.
I watched up to the point where Vincent D'Onofrio kills himself, and I'm like, all right, I'm good. I don't need any more of this movie.
Oh, he didn't let me watch that bit. He didn't let me watch that bit until I was old.
But no, it's just the Arlie Ermy stuff. I could care less. The movie's phenomenal, but it's I get done with him. I'm like, all right, cool. I'm gonna go do something else now. I've got what I need out of it.
I do like Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Oh, that movie's so good. Have you read the book
as well? I've read the book. Yeah, my dad got me that for my when I passed my GCSEs as well.
I think the books are better than the movies anyway.
Oh, 100%.
The only place where I don't agree with that is Twilight. I've read the Twilight books and I've watched the films, and I like the films better.
Okay.
That's a bit of a weird one for me. Now I've grown up a bit. I don't really like either of them. So
there's a lot of problems with those books.
Yeah.
Once you grow up, you look at it. Are we sure? Are we sure about this?
Yeah. I do like comedy movies. I'm into all the army movies, like Saving Private Ryan, Fury.
Yeah.
I just finally watched that movie for the first time the other day.
Fury?
Finally, yeah. Finally watched it all the way through.
My granddad was a commander in a chief.
Oh, okay, cool.
So it was and I've sat in one of his tanks. So they live down in Devon, and in Devon, is actually a tank museum. It's Bovington Tank Museum, which is where the tank regiment in the British Army is based now. And they have all the old tanks. So 2 of my granddad's tanks are actually in that museum. And
that's awesome.
The first one that is intact is it's sitting in a massive warehouse, and you can go. And on certain days, you can go in this tank. The next day, it's this tank. The next day, and we got to go in one of his tanks.
That's awesome.
And I sat in his seat. The second one was his other tank, and we were just walking through this museum. It was the mechanics bit, and walking through this museum, and Grandad's looking at he's just standing there looking up and reading this red paper over and over again. And Mum goes, "What's the matter?" He said, "They've cut my tank in half."
Oh no!
It's suspended in the air, but you walk underneath it, and they've got mannequins sat all in there, but you can see all in the engine, all the mechanisms and everything.
Oh, that's cool.
Really, really cool.
Yeah.
He just stood there and went, "My tank in half."
He cut my tank.
I'm into all that stuff. I like my Disney, Toy Story, Stitch,
like
Mary
Disney
Poppins,
too.
all of that stuff.
Yeah.
I used to be a Harry Potter geek. I still am a little bit.
Yeah, I like Harry
Potter. You don't get
Lord of the Rings. I never got into Lord of the Rings. I do like Harry Potter though.
Not Lord of the Rings. Yeah. I don't really like The Hobbit. I'm not a massive fan of that. But Harry Potter, fantastic.
What about Star Wars?
Oh, I love Star Wars.
Yes, me too. I'm a Star Wars nerd.
Star Wars.
My
dad, when they used to have the old wax figurine things, they used to get he's got the Millennium Falcon, he's got a trooper, he's got the big dog thing, He's got the mini dog thing, the little 2-legged one. He's got the Darth Vader thing. It's all in a box somewhere stored around in our house. All the figures and everything. Got them out when we moved from our big house to this one. No, sorry, the one in between that. And yeah, he loves it. He got me into that. I really want the Lego Millennium Falcon. So, Father Christmas, if you're watching, please get me the Lego Millennium Falcon.
Yeah, right. I bought my son one. Was it last year for Christmas? And then my dad went out and bought the big that $1,800 one. Man, that thing is
because there's two, isn't there? There's a massive one, and there's that little
Lizzie,
tiny one.
it is huge.
It's
I've got an original Millennium Falcon playset from 1980.
Oh, dude,
that's the one my dad got.
Oh, that's probably worth some money right there.
Yeah, we've got loads of that stuff. I mean, my dad got me into it, and I sort of go through phases of like geeking onto it, and then I'm like,
then you move away from it. Yeah. You get back from it. You always come back in it.
Yeah, I think I've got 4 Star Wars games on my Xbox.
So I want to get the new one. Yes, I want to get the new Jedi game.
Starfield, and then Battlefield 1 and 2.
Yep. So, they're supposed to be coming out with a new Star Wars open world game.
That's coming out next year.
Yeah, I've seen that. It's next year.
Yep.
Next year.
Did you see the new Grand Theft Auto trailer?
I was literally going to say that.
I can't wait for that game.
I bet it went crazy over there because I was at work and my mate was like, oh my god, they've dropped it. I'm like, what the fuck are you on about? Hang on. He's like, yeah, they've dropped the GTA trailer because somebody leaked it.
Yeah, somebody leaked it. They've released it. It's still a year and a half. It's coming out in 25.
Yeah, it's coming out in 25. Yeah.
But
it's gonna be proper.
It's back in Vice City. Really it's back in Vice City or Miami, whichever.
My
absolute favorite. Mine too.
I played Vice City when it was on the PlayStation 2. I've got my PlayStation 2. Well, my dad's PlayStation 2 under my bed. I used to play Vice City on the PlayStation 2. I played The Getaway. Burnout.
The Getaways were great.
They were great games.
I didn't even get 15 minutes into it and gave up because I was like, I don't understand what I'm meant to do. These controls are so out of everything. I just put it down. I was like, nah, I'm not touching that.
The one that they did where they did it in London, where it was like they literally set the map up. It was as photorealistic and as real as you can get for the technology at the time in London. Like you could literally go and get an address and go find it in the game. Yeah. That game was wild. That game was so much fun.
No, I'm excited for the GTA. I think there's going to be a lot of interesting things about like you know how you won't be able to tell like Vice City, the original, from actual because it's just so much better. Yeah. I won't get lost. I'll know exactly where I am, but it's going to be really interesting.
A lot more stuff in it,
Yeah.
And it looks like you can do street takeovers like on dirt bikes and stuff. So I'm all for that.
I know.
I really want them to keep like on GTA 5 you can go on and can do like online races.
Yeah. 100% they're going to keep that.
Stuff. I really love that.
They're making so much money off GTA 5 online. You think they're going to screw anything up with that?
No.
God's green earth. They make so much money off that.
It made me laugh how like last year they brought out the free version of GTA and it literally is just GTA Online. Like if they don't do it with this one, then they're going to miss out again.
No, they'll do it. Rockstar will do it after 6 months in. They'll do the free version, and it's Trust me, those people know how to do two things: make really in-depth games and make a whole lot of money off of them.
Facts. That is a fact. 110.
Now, I just remembered as well. Another podcast I listen to is BT's podcast.
Of course,
I've been on that 3 or 4 times. So,
listen. Do you listen to his Gypsy Tales or the one he does with his buddy called "Sorry We're Cancelled"?
I listen to Tales from a Gemini. Sometimes the other one gets like because I put my podcast on shuffle, so I'll listen to Chasing the Racing, and then next it will be maybe your guy, and then next one will be BT, and the next one would be Help Us Say to My Boss, and then it will all just everything is just completely like mixed in. But
I do the same.
I've been on BT's a few times now, and actually I got to meet BT at Silverstone. I think we were talking about this earlier.
Yep.
I got to meet him at Silverstone. I've done two podcasts with him so far. And it was all like one day we'll see each other in America, and actually one day we actually saw each other at Silverstone. So I've met you and I've met BT, which is cool.
It's proper, and I'll be back for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna
We
come
need to
back and
coordinate that. We need to coordinate because I'm down.
yeah,
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 definitely.
too.
Yeah,
yeah, I'm
I
definitely
need to
coming
get
back.
you all over for track days because
Yep,
BT wants to come and do a
Oh,
track day with me.
100%. I am
If you
all
come,
the way in. I will
if you come
bring
to
all of my
Cadwell,
gear.
if you come to Cadwell, you'll be in my homeland because I live like 45 minutes away from
you
Cadwell.
already know where I'm coming, Lizzie.
Hey,
It's
it's
Cadwell
Yeah,
for sure.
Cadwell terrifies me, but I'm in.
Yeah,
Like
it's
that.
a
listen,
weird one. It's a really weird one. When I actually rode there for the first time, I hated it. I never wanted to come back. I got through the weekend and was like, I never want to leave
Yeah,
because
I didn't either.
it's so thin.
It
It's so
is.
thin compared to all the tracks. Like you can't race cars around there anymore because they're so like massive.
Yeah,
Can't race cars around anymore, so it's just really sort of bikes all the time. I mean, you can get the little buggy things around there. I've watched a rally or two around there. But Cadwell's it's another animal. If you're fast at Cadwell, you're fast everywhere.
yeah.
Not so much for me. I can get fast at Cadwell, and then the rest of the places are just doing a little bit of work. But I'll get there. I'll get
yeah,
there.
you'll get
Yes,
it.
you will. You will. 110% you'll get there. That's proper. Yeah, Cadwell's my favorite track out of any racetrack in the world. I like that, Magello, Phillip Island. But man, what I love about Cadwell about anything else is obviously it's the mountain jump, right? But it's also the history of
Yeah,
the track, right? The
it's
farmer
so
dad.
weird. Like
It is
there's
how everything got started.
everything played out.
Yeah,
It's
it's
so,
crazy.
and the track itself actually doesn't look anything like it used to.
No.
The old track is actually up. So you look up the mountain. If you imagine as you were stood looking up the mountain, the track was actually behind you, literally like 40 foot behind you, where all the walking paths are.
Yep.
Saw an old map of it a few years ago, and it's just phenomenal. It's changed so much, but it's really cool, and I love how they've kept the house, even though
Yeah,
it's
I
falling down
know.
from the inside
I
out.
know.
But yeah, it's a phenomenal track. It's different. You can't go there to prepare for anything else. It's just Cadwell. That's it. That's its own world
It
sort of thing.
is.
You can go to like Silverstone to prepare, or Donington to prepare for Silverstone, sort of, but not really. Or you can go to Alton and prepare for whatever, but you can't go anywhere to prepare for Cadwell because it's just blows your mind. It's amazing.
It was I remember I showed up on I got there, I left Monday in the United States, showed up on Tuesday. Wednesday I got up, um met some Malcolm, and Malcolm he takes pictures out there all the time. He's a good mate
Malcolm
of mine.
Short, yeah.
Malcolm Shorter, yeah.
Malcolm Shorter, yeah.
Shout out to him and his wife and
Yeah, love
Paul.
Malcolm
Yep, his buddy
Shorter.
Paul. So anyway, they carried me around. We went there Wednesday and showed me. And I was like, the first place I wanted to go was straight to the mountains. I want to go straight to go see this mountain I've been fantasizing seeing forever, right? And
yeah,
it blew my mind because there's actually a track day going on.
Yeah, they will hold
On
stuff
Wednesday.
like that up
Yep.
until like right till the very
Yep.
limit, like until the Thursday night.
Yep.
On the Wednesday, everyone has to be out. It's crazy. Like that was crazy to me when I was
Awesome.
doing BSB. It's amazing, but
When you see the superbike guys go over that mountain like the first time once they get in the rhythm, like Josh Brooks and all them, I was like, holy shit! Like
it's intense. It's really intense. Like you just don't understand how you do it.
it's the most beautiful thing I've ever seen on two wheels besides the Ironman TT. It is. That's what I tell everybody. It's the most beautiful thing I've ever laid my eyes on in the world. Not taken away from my wife or anything. I'm talking about as far as motorcycles and all that, right? It's the most. Yeah, it's
incredibly unique. It's incredibly unique, and I think because it's unique, it's like I don't know. It's just I miss Cadwell. I haven't ridden a bike.
Me
in 2
too.
months.
I miss it. I want to go back now. I wish I was like Dorothy. I could just tap my heels. I want to go home. I want to go back to Cadwell. I want to go back to Cadwell.
Again, we will coordinate this, and if there is a track day possible,
yeah.
If you find me, if you can get me a mini twin that somebody doesn't mind me riding, I'll go 60% just so I can ride that thing. I will bring my gear. I don't care. I will run.
We'll see what we can do. We'll see what we can do. If
We've got
Cadwell, we'll definitely
plenty of time.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes, we do. We definitely got plenty of time. It's man. Listen, we've been going at this for an hour and 30 minutes. It only seems like it's been 20 minutes.
I could keep going.
I know, me too, right? Yes, for sure. I absolutely I can, but I actually got to go back to work. I my job actually, Lizzie, lets me take off and come home and do the podcast and go back, but I got to stay and work late to make up the time. So, and I mean,
on call.
Yeah, right. He's like, I'm on call. Yeah, I mean, I honestly, I got like another 15 minutes where we can go at it. And then I got a truck delivery coming up. My dad.
I do have one thing I have to correct from the last show we did.
Okay.
I got jumped on this one. I got a message 3 days later after we did it. Honda does pay contingency on the CBR 300, 500, and 600.
Oh.
I got yelled at.
You got jumped by that, huh?
I got jumped. But it's like, okay, so because I said last time when we had Giacomo on, they only pay on the CBR 1000 and the Grom. I was wrong. They pay on the 300, the 500, and the 600 CBRs. So there, I corrected myself. Okay.
So you're
done
not
with
in
it.
trouble no more. Yeah.
I mean, it's a constant thing. It's like, it's just how deep in the pool am I of being in trouble?
Right.
It's like I'm not in the deep. I'm like I'm midway in between the shallow end and the deep end now.
Right. Hey,
so,
Lizzie, what do you think about Marc Marquez on this Ducati?
Yeah.
Oh, just another world. Something's going to hit the fan next year. Pecco's in trouble, I think.
Yeah, me
really,
too.
really is.
Yeah.
I didn't actually get to watch much of the testing because I was looking after my little dog when he was in zoomies mode, but no, I did catch some of it, and it's going to be a good year next year by the looks of it. Really, really is.
Yeah.
Go
ahead, Daniel.
That look, that smile, that when he got off and he was talking to his new head engineer, I was like, oh, it's going to be bad.
Yeah.
Let's wait till Malaysia.
Yeah.
Because people are going to start bringing stuff that they're going to use for the beginning of the year.
We'll see
how that test goes.
Yeah.
And we all know Maverick Vinales is the testing champion, the winter champion of all time.
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
So this because he was first coming on, I'm like, okay, Captain Saturday is back. But like, let's see what Marquez does in Malaysia. Because that track is very good to a Ducati.
Yeah.
Very good to a Ducati. So
also, it's very interesting. Like I'm a Aprilia fan in and out. Like the team is my favorite team because Aleix is my favorite rider.
Mhm.
Which also, by the way, was fantastic to actually see my favorite rider win at my home GP. At my ever GP. You have to ask my dad. I was absolutely screaming the grandstand down. We sat on the straight. I screamed the grandstand down. It was the best feeling ever. But I'd like to see what might happen to the Aprilias.
Yeah.
Well, we do have a new team for the Aprilia satellite team too.
Yeah, the satellite team. I was going to say that. It's going to be interesting to see like how the two Ducati teams, they're sort of dicing it up. But will the two Aprilia teams? That makes sense in my head, but I don't know if it makes sense to anybody else.
You're right. So I had this conversation. Chris and I were talking about this yesterday. Yesterday. So the team that is running that Aprilia is an offshoot of a NASCAR team. See, look at that. There you go.
Oh, I love him. I love him so much.
So it's another branch of a NASCAR team.
Right.
And so I told Chris, I was like, as long as they don't go over there and act like they know what they're doing and don't not listen.
Yeah.
Okay. So granted, where they're based and the team, like everyone here's NASCAR. God love all of you. When the English hear NASCAR, they turn their noses up. I get it.
A little bit, yeah.
But they can make aerodynamically, they can make that car go faster around a racetrack than a Formula One car. It's never going to go around a corner faster. It's not going to happen. But you get three of them together.
I see what you mean.
You get three of them together. The Formula One car ain't touching it. No, I hate NASCAR. I hate NASCAR. The engineering behind what these guys are doing, the amount of cheating that they do, and the shit that they come up with. Like, they had a guy on the Dale Earnhardt Jr. podcast. They were like, what can you tell us now? So he goes, you remember how, I can't remember the guy who it was, whoever just retired. And he goes, you remember how they had the sniffer going around and making sure everything was kind of sealed up? They had figured out how to get the intake manifold sitting straight on the top of the motor, right? But as soon as they pulled full throttle, they had the front bolts loosened up and it would do this. More air is going directly, and you can't check it.
Cheeky. That's cheeky.
That is cheeky.
Y'all can sit there. Granted, the technology in Formula One's wonderful. The CNC machines that they're using at NASCAR are just as good, if not better, as Formula One, and their fabricators can make anything out of anything in North Carolina. So it's
I'm not gonna lie, right?
It's gonna be fun.
The closest you could get me to NASCAR is Cars, the movie.
Yeah.
It's as close as you could get me because I just don't. I like Formula One, but
I'm not a big fan. I'm not a big fan of NASCAR, but I definitely appreciate all of the stuff that they have to go through to make these things competitive. Like back in the 80s, they were running to drop weight. They would put ball bearings in the tubes of the front, in the chassis tubes, right? So they'd be going through, they'd go through 1 or 2 laps and they just start opening it a little bit and they're dropping like ball bearings out of the back and they're dropping 200, 300 pounds off the car in the middle of the race.
That's crazy.
So they're and like fuel. There was a guy back in like Smokey Unit. Like 3/4 of the rule book is because of this guy. He dropped the fuel tank out of the race car, drove it to tech. They looked at it and said, "That's not going to work." He goes, "Fine. There's 10 things wrong. Make it 11." Started the car, no fuel tank in it. Drove it back to the trailer, parked it, and sat there for a minute. It had an extra 7 feet of fuel line that were 2 inches in diameter. It held an extra 4 gallons of gas.
Nice.
Oh my god.
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Shit, and it's awesome. I love all that. Like having nitrous bottles sitting in the front seat, they'd sit there and turn the nitrous on, and they had to stop doing that because they started putting cameras and doing in-car camera stuff, and you can't really turn a nitrous bottle camera on. Yeah. Well, no, they would have a wrench under the seat. They'd be driving, they'd reach into the seat and hit the button down here in the floorboard. Like it just again,
it's cooler to do this.
Yeah, I'm not doing that.
Way cooler to do that, right?
Down here because they've got the bottle itself welded into the frame rail.
Yeah.
So it's just the machining and the team, if they can make it, and if Aprilia will let them work on the bike themselves.
Yeah.
It could be very entertaining to see what they can come up with. And it gives an opportunity for an American rider to come in, even though Joe Roberts screwed the pooch and not going to Aprilia when he should have. But anyway, I love Joe Roberts.
Listen.
He is one of my favorite riders. But
I like
he
Joe
went to
too.
All-Trans and he should have gone to the Aprilia team.
But listen, it's like even if you played any type of basketball, Michael Jordan says, "I want you to play for Chicago Bulls." You say, "Fucking right, I'm coming to play for Chicago Bulls." Yeah. Right? I mean, you don't say, "Nah, I think I'm gonna stay down here and on my college team." No. You go.
This is what I've said. Right? Is if God forbid some factory team at BSB came along and was like, "Here you go, here's a ride. You can have it for free. Just come and ride my bike for a bit." And I'd be like, "Yeah, no problem. I'll do it. Yep. Even if it's a stock 6, I'll do it. Not one like Super Sport. I'll just do it." You wouldn't say no to that, would you?
No, but it's again, there's probably a lot of other things going on in the background that we don't know.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So because Joe, I chatted with him briefly when he first showed up in the professional American side. Seems to be an incredibly intelligent guy, and super nice kid when I talked to him in the paddock at Barber. But who knows? But
yeah, he really knows. You're right. Yeah, I think it was a mistake. But 2024 is going to be good in all years. BSB. I mean, there's a lot of movement in BSB. Obviously, Tommy going to Honda and carrying the #1 plate to Honda instead of PBM. PBM retained Glenn. So.
Who's their second rider? Have they announced that yet?
No, they haven't announced it yet. Not yet. And then of course,
the thing is there's no guesses. I don't have an idea of who it would be. I'm very sort of.
Who is it? This is just something that popped into my head, and this could be wildly conjectures. And it's only because I know he hasn't been announced. Nobody's announced anything on this guy yet either. Xavi Flores might be available.
Yeah, Xavi Flores. Yeah. I haven't heard any news on him either.
No, I haven't heard anything out of him. I haven't heard anything about what's going on over here for Supersport for that particular team.
Yeah, I don't either.
Because it doesn't. They're not acting like they want to put another superbike on the grid.
Yeah.
So he might be available, and I don't care. That guy is fast, and he's raced over there before. He raced over there on a Honda in 2019. So And that bike was we're gonna leave that alone.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna talk bad about a manufacturer on here.
It'd be very interesting to see who they do bring in if they decide to bring one in at all.
Yeah.
Because they might just decide, you know what, we'll run just the one this year if there's
Be a lot
nobody else
easier.
available. But I don't see I don't see why they shouldn't bring a second one in unless it's just costs of
Yeah.
But yeah, everything's going to be very interesting this year. I think it's going to be next year. It's not quite that yet.
Yeah.
It's next year. It's still next year for another couple of weeks.
Yeah. Get Christmas out of the way first, and then it's a week to go.
Yeah.
So,
My guess.
It'll be fun.
Look. So obviously, it did connect to Facebook here because I'm getting some Facebook like Jack Hammersley. What is up, champ?
Homie.
Yeah, he says my guess would be Rory Skinner, right? Rory Skinner would.
That's
would
a good
be
guess.
Good. Yeah,
that's a really good guess.
Yeah.
Daryl Powell, what is up, mate? How you doing, bro? Rory Skinner, it will be. So Daryl Powell.
Actually, yeah.
Yeah.
So y'all gotta come up with names. Because I watch BSB when I can catch it, but
BSB's
interesting.
Proper, yeah, dude. Because what chaps my ass about American MotoGP team, man, is that it's how you gonna have an American Moto2 team and then boot SDK out, right, and then Marcus Ramirez comes in, which he's doing good. Don't get me wrong, right? And then what's the real deal with what really happened with Roy Skinner and the American team? Like nothing was really said.
Nobody knows.
Yeah, it was quick. Like he was a 2-year deal, and they cut him loose
quick.
Yeah. And again, it's a weird that whole team. Like as much as I'm for it, and they had Cam on the bike for 2 years. And poor Cam just because the bikes are so much different than learning how to ride a super bike to a Moto2 bike because they're so different. And Joe Roberts luckily got away from it before he started riding super bike, and he jumped on it after winning Stock 600 and had some funding, and there he went. But like that's just weird because SDK dropped down onto the MV. They've got Joe back on the bike. SDK nobody knows what's going on with him.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything.
I don't know.
No, nothing for me either.
We'll find out in a couple of weeks. But but Rory Skinner on that PBM V4 would be.
It'd be interesting.
It would be entertaining. I'll say that.
It'd be. I'll tell you what it would be. It would be nice to see him back.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Very nice to see him back.
He
does deserve a seat after. I mean, the stuff he went through after he won the British. Was it the British Talent Cup? He won the British Talent Cup and he didn't get a seat.
Yeah.
He had to fight for a seat.
Yep.
And that isn't usually how it goes. Was it British Talent Cup or was it Red Bull Rookies? I can't remember.
I think it was the Red Bull Rookies.
Won the championship and that was it. He didn't get an offer. And it was like, are you crazy? Like the stuff that he's just done and you're not gonna bother. I mean, it might not have happened. There might have been offers, but he was consistently trying to fight for a seat, like trying to find somebody to ride for, and it was unreal. Couldn't believe it.
And the year before he actually went to Moto2 and BSB, he had a brilliant season. Rory Skinner did.
It's luckily because of the geographic location, it's a lot easier for an English rider to go over to Europe because it's not nearly as the logistic issue. There might be some paperwork you got to deal with now, but other than that, yes. But that's a dumb American joke. But it's like you can go over there, you can do what you need to do, and you usually have a spot to come. Like look at Leon Haslam. Leon did it for years. Leon rode a 598.
Yeah.
Or the Shell Advanced NSR 500, and Michael Rudder talking about that bike, and he's like, "Yeah, the best day of my life was when I snapped that thing in half." I was like, "Okay, I guess the bike was that bad." But Leon did it. He bounced around a World Superbike and kept coming back and going forth, and finally getting that BSB championship. But it's good.
Yeah. It's difficult. It's difficult to say. It's hard. It's harder now because unless you've got the money, you can't go to Europe. Like, unless you've got the money even in England, you can't race.
Yeah.
I mean, half of our struggles this year have come from we just can't. We've had so many sponsors, and we've put all of our money that we get from sponsors every single penny has gone into racing, and it's still not enough. Like, and that's scary. Like, if I can't even race at British level, how am I meant to go any further?
Yeah, it's
crazy, and it's happening everywhere as well. It seems.
Yeah,
Everybody's having the same issues.
The numbers we got told for a Twins Cup win, for a Twins Cup championship, was how do I put this politely?
You just say
short.
Insane.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
When we kill this, we'll tell you the number we got told.
Cool, that's fine.
No, it's not these things that I want to let out there.
Yeah.
Like, just out in the public, like for people that can understand. I'm not going to blast this out, but like it was. Yeah.
Crazy money.
It's. Yeah, you'll be. People would be like, "No fucking way." Yeah,
it's bad.
Okay.
Absolutely, it is. Yeah, it's crazy. So yeah, dude, it's Jack Hammersley. What's going on? Daryl Power, dude. Martin Adams. What is going on? Lizzie, do you know Martin? Martin from the Clothing King, the Clothing Kings.
I can't see. I'm not close to my phone.
Here you go. Hang on.
Oh, he does.
The Clothing King.
Marsh's.
He does. Yes, he also makes my merch. Look, I got it right here on my hat. Yeah. Big shout out to him.
We do. God, we've got so many good sponsors on board. I mean, yeah. Oh, I've heard of him because he does Jake's clothing as well, and obviously does yours.
And look who just commented. BT, what is up? He says, "You got my girl Lizzie. I love you."
We haven't met yet.
Who?
BT. He looks fun.
Don't worry, we're gonna have BT on.
He looks fun.
Harry Cook, what is going on, mate? Dude, I'm so glad. Luke Hedger. We're having Luke Hedger on tomorrow at 3 p.m.,
That's right.
Yeah, which 3 p.m. our time. So it's
10 o'clock.
Yeah, 10 o'clock your guys' time.
Luke, what?
No, it's not 10, 3.
No.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8 o'clock.
8 o'clock, sorry.
Yeah, 8 o'clock.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, something like that.
Coming up for that.
Nikki Williams, what is going on? You know Nikki Williams?
Nikki Williams. I probably do.
Him and my Caden Wilkerson, a mate of mine, they're good mates.
No, I don't think I do recognize the name, but I don't think I've.
Yeah, he's proper. Yeah, I'm gonna be up. I'm gonna chat with him. I think Saturday. I think this Saturday, me and him's gonna do a little sit down video chat, talk shit about motorcycles. Daryl, mate, bro, I'm in Roanoke, Virginia. Yep, that's where I'm based out of.
Daryl, I'm out of Nashville, Tennessee.
Yep, and he's in.
I'm in Lincolnshire, England.
That's where I'm ancestrally from. we did the ancestry thing, and I found out that's where my grandmother's side of the family's from.
Really, that's cool. That's cool.
Yeah,
I'm.
Guy Martin's from there, isn't he?
Who?
Guy Martin's from Lincolnshire.
Yeah. North Lincolnshire. I'm south. I'm further down.
Like I'm gonna know what the difference is.
We're a big county.
Okay.
But yeah, he's from up there, and I'm down south. I'm bordering on, not really bordering on Cambridge, but Cambridgeshire, Peterborough is 30 minutes away.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm down the bottom end.
Nice. So, Daryl says Scott Redding is not far from you at the moment. He's staying in the winter in California, but he's doing a cycle not so. Yeah. Listen, Daryl, you already know I'm a huge fan of your son, Scott Redding. I say it all the time. Scott is proper fast, dude. When he won the BSB title, I was fucking ecstatic.
Dude, Scott, I'm a big fan of Scott Redding,
bro. Huge fan of Scott Redding. Hey, you two talk. Give me 1 second, okay?
So Top Rack got to ride the BMW finally.
Yes. Did you see Top Rack also blew up the BMW?
Well, hey, I've got something in common with him now. You know.
Yeah.
But He hasn't worked the stoppy point out yet on the BMW as well as he did on the Yamaha, but he'll get it.
Thanks.
He'll definitely get there. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
But yeah, he said that he likes the power.
Yeah, I haven't seen a lot about what he said about it, but I have seen videos and stuff circulating around here. He did a track day at Portimao, I think, Algarve,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And there's a video going around of he did a stoppie in the pit lane, and No Limits is a track day company, obviously, over here, and it's a big no on stoppies and wheelies. And as soon as he landed that stoppie, a official walks over and starts trying to tell him off.
So I'm usually the official for if I'm not coaching, I'm that official on the pit lane that has to control all that for the track days.
Yeah.
So we have the Baggers Cup here, right?
Yes.
So they're hilarious. It's great fun to. It's like I tell everybody, it's like watching Shaq shoot free throws, but it's a good time.
It's coming to BSB too.
Y'all gonna have fun with that.
Oh.
It's a good time.
Would you ride a Badger, Lizzie?
Would you ride a Badger? No, you're not. Absolutely not. You are not too small. So anyway,
I don't know.
The first time that we had one testing, it was like they were getting ready for the first race at Laguna, and Hayden Gillum, the guy that won the championship this year, he showed up on one, and I'm like, and I knew who it was. I just recognized him from the leathers, and he's on it's the same color as this thing, and I'm like, what are you doing? And I'm like, okay, cool. So he takes off and he's riding and everything. Then he comes out in the pit lane and he just hangs this thing on the back fender. Just all the way down the pit lane. He rides it all the way out of the pit lane and he sets it down and he goes off and does his session. I'm getting yelled at on the radio. He has to stop that, this, that, and the other. I'm like, all right, fine. I'll talk to him. So he comes in, he comes back out, and I stop him. I'm like, hey, I go, look, officially, I have to tell you to not do that again. Unofficially, I'm never going to say it again. They can yell at me all you want. Do whatever you want. Have fun, sir. And he kept doing it, and they kept yelling at me. And I'm like, look, the guy's a pro rider. I can't tell the guy no.
I'm not going to tell him no. Are you crazy?
Yeah, like, I'm sorry. This is the best part of the day.
Right.
Like, I'm not telling this guy to stop. Like, go. He's a professional. Like, there's a reason why there's a blown-up GSX-R1000 in the back of the van, because he just wadded it up, and he's down here testing now. So, like, no, he gets paid to do this. Leave him alone.
Obviously, I'm not a pro rider, but at No Limit, whenever I'm on a track day, I normally get away with murder.
Well, see, it's
all the officials are so nice to me, so I'm nice back, and sometimes we bring them cake because sometimes I misbehave. Cupcakes and stuff.
My dad runs race control. My mom runs pit out, and
Daryl says,
yeah, absolutely. I would like to see Scott race here in the States. Yeah. It doesn't have to be 2026. He can do it now once he gets done, whenever he gets done with his BMW contract. If he doesn't want it, he can come race in the States tomorrow.
Yes.
But anyway, so dad runs race control, mom runs pit out. So literally, we've got Hayden Gillum, JD Beach. Like a couple of really fast semi-pro guys that have raced in Europe that show up, and the poor corner workers, the poor marshals there mostly do cars there. Because
Daryl says I might be seeing you soon. Then proper.
Come on with it.
Forward to it.
Absolutely. Come on with it. So they usually do cars, and they don't really understand the difference between a really fast advanced level rider and a pro rider. And it's just like, oh God, here they're like, this guy's passing too close. I'm like, that's JD. I need everyone to calm down. Like, it's JD. Like, Daniel showing up. Like, it's like the proper factory Yamaha riders for flat track on R6s and R7s. And it's like, everybody just chill out for a minute. These guys know what they're doing. Everybody else is in the way.
Yeah.
Let's go. So, anyway.
Oh, man.
Yeah, we let them get away with everything.
Yeah, Harry Cook says you have some really good American racers coming through. Yes,
we're trying to. Yes, we've got some kids. We've got some children that were at the FIM Volley Cup this year. Nathan and was it Ryder Davis? Is that who it was? Yeah, Nathan Goker and Ryder Davis. I won't say I've raced Nathan. I'll say I've taken the start with him. But yeah, he's ridiculous.
Lee says hi, Lizzie. Hope you are well.
Hi, Lee. How are you doing? I'm good.
Listen, I'm so glad that it finally decided to go live on Facebook after all this time.
Yes, it's good. One person I do think that's coming through really well is Kayla Yakov.
Yes.
I've been following Kayla for a long time, and she really puts faith in my head about women.
Oh,
yeah.
Kayla is
unreal. Unreal.
I have been watching that girl race since she was probably 8 or 9 years old.
She's crazy.
She's
awesome.
She's an amazing rider.
Yes.
She is wonderful for everyone in the paddock.
Yep.
Literally will take time with anybody. Like, I've got 2 goddaughters that I'm going to eventually get down there and let them meet her and see everything. But that girl, she's wonderful on camera. She did, like, when she was hurt, when she blew her knee out, she did like the paddock walk in between, like, and you take the camera with you and you talk to all the riders. She was amazing.
Yeah, she was.
So
I'd love to meet her. I almost met her once when she was doing the Blue Crew.
Yeah.
And we missed out on the World Superbike round for some reason. I can't remember what it was. And she was there, and I was like, "Oh, I should be there," and then never ended up going. So I was that close to meeting her. But she's such a personality. She's really got something.
She is an absolute sweetheart. She is the nicest person in the, like, she's one of the nicest people in the paddock, and she just landed an absolute cherry ride.
And on that Raw. Yes.
The Ray Hall V2.
Yeah. So listen real quick. The guys called me. They're actually going to bring my TV. They're on the way, but I'm going to keep this going. We're just going to continue doing this. So when I say I'll be back in a second, I'm literally going to go out there and let them drop the TV off, and I'll be right back. But I have a question. We actually have a question. Daryl Powell wants to know, I want to ask you a question. What do you think about this women's race in World Superbikes for next year? That series that they have. The R7, I think they're racing R7s and they're all on Yamaha R7s.
It's R7. Yes. R7s. I did some reading on that. Yeah, I mean, I know the people who are making it happen, and they've worked really, really hard to make it happen. It's going to be good. It will be good for women. I know a lot of people might kick up a fuss because a few years ago I was in a women's only race, and a lot of people, this was for charity, for Breast Cancer UK, and a lot of people kicked up a fuss about, oh, why are you having a women's race? Like, surely they should just race with the men. That wasn't the idea of it, obviously, but I can see that happening again. But I think it's going to be really good to not put women in their own category, but make it fair. I don't know how to say this. It's just gonna be very good. It's gonna be very good for women in the sport as a whole. The people behind the scenes seem to have worked very, very hard to make it happen. It's gonna be really good. It will be really good. It'll be nice to see some females getting that opportunity, because it doesn't always happen for the girls. Like, I've not been victim to it, but I've seen it happen. I know of people who have had it happen to them. It'll be nice to see girls getting their chance at top level. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's going to be very, very good to see. Very refreshing, I think.
Yeah, I personally think, I mean, listen, I love women racers. I think you guys are just as fast as men are. I think that, I think it's good. I think it'll help more women easier get into the sport a little bit easier, maybe, right? Because it's just that category alone. But the double edge to that I see is it kind of like puts you guys in just this one category, where I hope it don't make it harder for you guys to come out of that and get back into racing with the men.
I don't know if that will happen, because at the same time we're still racing. But I do see, I see what you mean. Of course I do.
Daryl, look. Go ahead, Lizzie. We're listening.
The World Motocross Championship with just women. They should have a World Superbike race just for women. And me and Scott would be interested in sponsoring somebody. If I'm honest, I'm all for it.
Yeah. Oh no!
Where'd you go? Ah!
I've been paused. Hello.
Yeah. There
you go.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen it done in women's motocross. It's a different discipline there, because the women and the boys together are just completely two extremities, because you've got to be so physically fit, and it's on the grounds of physicality. Like, women physically cannot be as strong as men. Like, we can't do it, and that is one of the biggest setbacks. Is I will always try my hardest to be as strong as the next man, but it won't always happen because I just can't. Like, I'm physically too small. I'm 5'4", for God's sake.
You're already talking about Paul Bautista. I don't want to hear it.
Yeah, I know. I'm talking
and Danny Perdosa, right? Yeah.
I'm as tall as Danny Pedrosa. I'm as tall as Danny Pedrosa. I am actually heavier than Danny Pedrosa, because I got big muscly thighs.
There you go.
But yeah, it's very interesting to see that now they've done it. It's good. Yeah, I think perhaps there will be some kickoff.
There's always that.
There's always going to be some of it, but you've got to think, like, sometimes it's needed, and for talent to really be shown of the women, because sometimes it gets drowned out by the men. I've seen it a few times.
Yeah.
It's going to be nice to see, to put talented women in the spotlight, so they get the equal opportunities that sort of we deserve, you know.
So Daryl says, I kind of disagree. Scott's girlfriend was full-time world's women's motocross champion, and Scott is good on a motocross bike, and he struggled to stay with her. And if I want, she was fucking fast, and I mean fucking fast.
I look at it like this. It's going to bring a new, different demographic to a sport that has been dying for new eyes for 20 years.
Yeah, definitely.
Like,
the demographic.
I think it's good for the sport. I think as a whole, it's good for the motorcycle racing sport and community altogether.
It's because for people who have been on motorcycles since we were in the womb, like, the argument has been we need more people on motorcycles. Well, for God's sakes, that there has been a half of the world's population has been ignored by motorcycle manufacturers, by marketing groups, by everything. And guess what? Women are tired of it.
Yeah.
We've got the track race thing here. It's just
like some of the comments I've had before, especially being, you know, I don't exactly look like a girl. Let's be real. People come up to me and say, and change their attitude because I've said I'm a girl. It's very strange. It hasn't happened a lot, but it's happened.
Right.
Some of the attitude that women get, it would be nice for women to be put in that light where we can then not respond to that attitude, but we can then get our own back, sort of thing. Get, like, and then the thing is, as well, as I think it will be quite, in that championship, it will be quite refreshing to see that all the girls then come together. I mean, we try to anyway. I mean, there's not a lot of girls. I mean, there's Charlotte, Scarlett, Jamie, Holly,
Chloe,
get everybody, Chloe,
Lissy Whitmore,
me, Katie, two Katies, Kate and Katie. There's Jodie. There's
Jodie.
There was Kayla. There's the lady on the sidecar ladies, Maria, Jenny.
Yep.
We've all sort of magnetized towards one another and stuck together. And now I think when that championship comes around, we'll see them girls then all sort of try and sort of glue and stand up to it, sort of thing, if something does occur, you know?
Yeah. I do. So, being a woman in road racing, Lizzie, have you ever had struggles with, like, men giving you a hard time because you're a racer, you're beating them out there on track?
No, only my dad.
Well, he does that just because he has to. Okay, that's part of the job description. Okay,
I love it.
I've never.
It's part of the game. Okay.
I've never really had anybody be nasty towards me at all. It's sort of just I've been very lucky because I do know of a few people. I won't name anyone, but I do know of a few people that have had people be nasty towards them because they're a girl beating. Oh, Abs Thomas as well. I've just remembered Abs Thomas. There's just so many people. I can't even. I had another one in my head as well. I can't remember. Yeah, I've never had anyone be horrible towards me. And at road racing, it's different. Everybody's nice to everyone, but it's nice. It's just nice. It's nice for people to give you that sort of support. But I've never ever had anybody be nasty towards me personally. Maybe a bit of an weird attitude, but never nasty as such. Yeah, it's a weird one. It's a weird one.
Yeah, but that's
it
good.
Could be a cultural thing too, just because motorcycles are so much more entrenched into daily life and daily commuting over in the UK than they are here. Because here in the States, it's a fun thing we do on the weekend. The UK, it's part of life. That's daily transportation.
Yeah, you see them a lot. I mean, in the Peak District and stuff, they're everywhere. Yeah, you go. In the Peak District.
Get out of here. We got this. Come on.
I did a biking award called the Duke of Edinburgh, and we did it in the Peak District, and they're everywhere. But that's because it's the Peak District, because it's nice views and everything. But you see a bike every day. You will see one just commuting. Maybe not in the crappy weather, because it's been really horrible here at the minute, as usual, because it's the UK. But no, it is. Honestly, it's been snowing and everything.
Oh God! You can have all
warnings. Weather warnings, all sorts. We got a flood warning for my house as well.
Oh, that's even more fun.
Yeah, but you see them all the time, and I see on TikTok in America, you see them like literally just having fun.
Oh,
they don't really use it to go to and from, and if you do see them, you get the sensible ones, and they are commuting, but it's like 1 in 500.
Oh,
do it.
You said the sensible ones.
They're not sensible. They're just well behaved when there's a cop around, sort of thing.
TikTok is the last thing you're going to see is anything sensible on a motorcycle on TikTok, especially coming from the US. So,
I did see a video. I don't know whether you saw it. It circulated around. There was a guy riding along sensibly, but there'd already been a pack of bikers go through before him. And this guy runs out onto this main road and stands in the middle of the road and shoves him off his bike, takes the key, walks in his house, and his girlfriend comes and gets him. Is like, you've seen that? I think that does that stuff happen all the time?
Not as much as you'd think. I mean, granted, also like we've all done dumb things on the road. For those of us who, because granted, okay, I don't know how long the longest drive you have to get to a racetrack. For me to go to Circuit of Americas is 17 hours.
Yeah, that's the mad thing about it. Is here my furthest circuit on the mainland UK, because obviously there's Northern Ireland as well.
Yeah.
No, it's probably Knockhill.
That's up in Scotland, so yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, Cadwell, 40, maybe an hour-ish, I think it is for us. And then Snetterton's maybe an hour and a half. Anglesey, 6 hours. Knockhill's about 6 to 8. Depends on the roads or which way.
So the longest drive you've got is 8 hours, pretty much.
Yeah, I think so. I think what I can remember.
I've got friends that live here on the east coast of the country, and they were doing Twins Cup. They were running Twins Cup and everything, and then they went to Laguna and the Ridge, and that's on the other side of the country. That's 2 days.
That's crazy. That's
2 days.
Mental.
8 hours. If you drive to Texas and you're in Texas and you keep driving for 8 hours, you're still in Texas.
Yeah. That's amazing. I've never been to the US. I don't think I'll ever get to go because it's just.
Oh no, you will figure out a way to come over here. Don't start that.
Yeah, no. But it's like I want to go to Disney. I'm one of the weird ones. I want to go to Disney.
Pick either one. You've got
there's like
one
four,
into
isn't there?
No, there's two. You've got one in Florida and you've got one in California. Florida's a lot easier of a flight from the UK.
Because it's like straight in and Disney's there.
Straight down. Yeah. Literally.
I did a lot of stuff about America at school, and I've always wanted to go. My mum's been to America. A lot of my friends have been. My friend has actually just come back from America. that's crazy to me that your local circuit could be 8 hours away.
Yeah, my local
Blows my mind.
the closest racetrack I have to me that has any kind of competition on it. It's not a track day track. Is 3.5 hours. So, you know,
I'm trying to think my
We could be
closest
halfway across the
overall.
UK in 3.5 hours.
Yeah, you would actually.
Yeah, for real. So look,
Upwards.
Daryl Powell has a question for you. It says, I want to ask Lizzie, only hours a day do you train? So how many hours a day? I think he's asking, do you train?
At the minute, because of my work, I work overnight. It's very tiring because I could if like I was to just restart from a rest day. So I have Sunday, Mondays off. So I normally go to the gym on a Monday at the minute, a Monday, Wednesday, Sunday, and then wherever I can, if I have the energy to do, because I'm so tired.
Yeah.
Like it's hard. It's sometimes most hard work I do, like heavy lifting and stuff in the day at what in night shifts at work. But I'll spend a good hour and a half working hard in the gym. I mean, today was a bit weird because I sort of went at the wrong time. You get all the school kids come in, walk from school and get in the gym, and it's like full of school kids, and you're like, just off, man. I'm trying to work. I'm actual athlete. I need to work, sort of
Right.
thing. But back when I was I was going every single day, I'd spend maybe almost 3 hours in there. I'll do full body every day. I did full body every day for 3 weeks. After that, when I had a mental burnout, I stood at my heaviest of that time, 50 kilograms, 51 kilograms, my heaviest. Now I've gone up a bit because I've put healthy weight on. I'm about 59, 60, if that. But I need to get that under control. But I'll train hard for a good hour and a half. I mean, today I was only in for an hour. But I do it. I'll go at least 3 times a week, if not more, where I can. Because I come in at 1 o'clock in the morning. I might not get to sleep till 2:30.
Yeah.
And then I've got to get up at 8 to go with I don't drive, by the way. I'm 19 and I don't drive. I'll have to get up at 8 o'clock in the morning. Probably 6 o'clock in the morning to be ready to go with my mum to go to her work and then walk from her work at 8 o'clock to the gym. And I just can't do it sometimes. That's 6 hours sleep's not enough.
Nope.
You know?
Yeah, I do. 6 hours is kind of rough. And look,
hey, Jake
Marsh, yeah, my mate Jake. What is up, Jake? That's my dude right there.
Hey, that profile picture that Jake's got. Do you know who took that photo?
I'm probably gonna guess it was you.
That's
I
what
took
you
that photo.
did.
You know what? I took a photo in the Isle of Man when I was there in 2020 on my friend's equipment of Richard Rawlins sat in FHO hospitality.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
That then went viral.
Really?
Good for you.
I took that photo and I literally I posted it on social media and it got reposted by Gas Monkey and Richard Rawlins from my personal photography Instagram. He reposted it, he commented on it, he liked it, he messaged me, and I was like, what is happening? I used to watch your show when I was a kid and now you're texting me about my photo. But I didn't understand how special it was. My team photographer, the guy that I borrowed the camera, my OMG team photographer last year, I showed something just died. One of my AirPods.
No, you're good. You're still here.
No, you're good.
Yeah. Okay. My team, they were like, "That's one of the best shots I've ever seen," and I'm like,
"Hey,
I'd rather be like, but you know,
look over skill every time."
Yeah, I do a bit of photography as well. I don't know if anybody else. I did some for Jake. I didn't actually manage to get him a camera. I got some on track at Cadwell, but my camera had an absolute mare. I think I've got about 2 shots of him before my camera decided. By the way, you don't have a memory card fitted, but I did. It just had a bit of a fit because it was cold. I did some for Jake at Donington. Just some in paddock ones because I have to have a special license or some special permission to go and do it on track. And I didn't have it, so didn't fancy getting fined for something. I'd die, you know.
Oh, your earbuds died, but it's okay. We'll wait for you. We'll wait for you. Daryl, thank you so much for
Thank you,
joining
Daryl.
in, man. Can't wait to have you tune in next time. Look, sorry, y'all. Lizzie's earbuds died, so she has to change them out real quick. Yeah, dude, this is proper, man.
Yeah. She's sitting there trying to figure. Oh no, she's on mute still. Ah! There we go.
There you go. All right.
Right.
Lizzie, we have another question from Sean. It says, "What is your goal as a racer?"
Looks like he's
My
on an
goal-
RSV as well.
My goal as a racer is the Isle of Man TT. I want to be the fastest woman around the Isle of Man TT.
Go get it, girl. Get it.
And I
love
don't
it.
only want to be the fastest women. I want to be the fastest newcomer. Might not happen.
Just go get it.
I'll try.
Go get
I'm
it.
asking Glenn for that one. I've actually told Glenn I'm having your newcomer off you, and he's like, yeah, whatever. But I want to be the fastest woman. I want to be the youngest woman. I want to be the youngest. I want to be the fastest newcomer, and I want to have one. At least I want to. I've not told anybody this, but I want to actually maybe win each class, not in the same year, but I want to win each class.
There you go.
Maybe not the sidecars, because I have a sidecar pillion license, but this ET is a bit too much for my tiny little arms. So yeah, definitely a lightweight, a twin, a super sport, a super stock, and a super bike win under my belt.
There you go. Go get it.
That's it. That's it. So when's the first time you're gonna be at the TT?
If I had it my way, it'd be next year. If I have to do it my dad's way, it'd be when I'm 25. So another 6 years. But there's, as I said, in the plans, there's planning for
plans to be planned.
There you go.
Yeah.
Good.
There's things happening. There's things in place. We've got a nice road set, sort of a framework for it. We're going to work our way up slowly, because it's like what Dom said to me, like, you can't rush that, because it's so, you don't want to make a mistake. You don't want to go in thinking, oh, I know everything, and then you go there and you smash yourself up in the first lap. It's just, you need to know exactly what you're getting yourself into before you go. So
because there might be a small margin for error.
Yeah,
but there's really not. No.
Margin for error. There's none. It's absolutely crazy. So some of the conversations I've had with Dom is just I've actually sat and cried because it's been just so intense. Like some of the conversations we've had to have. It was when I told Dom actually that I was doing it. He was like, right, we need to have a chat. And I won't tell you all the stuff he said because it's very intense. I was 15, maybe.
Yeah.
And it was like, you're right, yeah. I grew up very quickly. I grew up in an hour, sort of thing.
Yeah.
During that conversation, but it's I won't say I don't understand now, but I still have a lot to learn before I go and jump myself into the TT.
Yeah. Like I said, it's on my bucket list, and I can't wait to go. I watch it every year.
It's unreal. If I'm not watching it, I've got it on radio, on Manx Radio.
Yep, me too.
I went in 2022 with OMG. Best week of my life. It was amazing. I had so many funny moments from that week. It was just, oh God, unreal. And then the first time I ever went to the Isle of Man was with my parents in 2016 before I went to secondary school, so high school. My mum and dad took me for practice week, and that was before I started racing, so I didn't appreciate it as much, I don't think.
Right.
But now, looking back, it was like, wow, okay, that's cool. I got to see that, and I'm seeing it again, and I'm going to actually do that now. That's the next step.
That's brilliant.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So when you was with OMG, you know my good mate Dave Neal then?
Yeah, I love Dave.
Yeah, me too.
David.
Yeah.
And his daughter Emily. I love it. Emily and Dave. Spot on. Love
Jennifer.
them both.
I love them both.
And Jen. Oh, Jen.
Jen. Yes, I love them both. Yeah, I do. I know. I'm actually working on getting Dave and Ben Curry on at the same time. I think that would be a pretty good.
Yeah, that would be
dynamic
good.
duo.
I know. I did a Bennett's Day with Ben. I think it was Ben. Is that called her and Ben? Yeah. possibly. I think it was Ben Curry. I'm really bad with names.
It's okay.
Really bad with names.
Me too. Yeah, Sean says, get as many laps around out of the season every year before you race at the TT or the Mannix. Yes, I actually have a good buddy that raced at the Mannix too, Adam Bauer.
I think I know Sean. I think we follow each other on Facebook. I don't think I've met you, Sean. Maybe in passing before at NG possibly. But my crew chief and my big brother, as I call him, Andrew Fisher's done the Manx. He did the Southern last year. He's done he's done loads of things. A lot of the people that I've accumulated around me, my support network, is mainly Manx and TT people. So I've got Dom, I've got Andrew. Sam hasn't. I don't know. Sam Ward. He's like my dad's friend. He supports me, and we're good friends. I don't think he's done it yet. I don't know if he's done it yet. No, he did Oliver's Mount with me, so he wants to do it as well. I know Pete Hickey not quite well. We know each other, but he's been really good to me as well.
He's my dude.
From what I understand, he's the nicest guy in the world.
Oh, Peter, I met him. Yeah, Peter is. Yeah, him and his dad, absolute legends.
Yeah, he fitted my my kit to my bike before it was because in the R3s you have to fit a GYTR kit to make them competitive. Yeah. He fitted my kit before the dawn of time, I didn't have it in my bike, and I was still going and ponying it and whatever, and I had to really make hard work to get it without it. So it's like I got on it and it was like, what am I riding? So
what is this thing?
Yeah, a bit like the VFR actually, like not as extreme, but sort of the same.
Totally. Yeah, we can't make the R3s competitive here anymore. It's just we can't do it. It's the
it's the 400 Cup. It's all the 400s, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, Kayla had did she have a 400?
Yeah, she was on a 400 for that. And then she did the R7 for Twins Cup, and the team that she had with the Twins Cup had a kid had Adrian on an R3.
Yeah, and then what's the other? Jack Roach rode the Yamaha.
Yep. Yeah.
And then he went to a Kawasaki, I think. Mm-hmm. And then he rode Kawasaki here.
Yeah. Those little 400s are so much fun.
Michaela has a 400. Does she? Michaela
Moore. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I've just come across Michaela actually. She's
awesome.
Yeah, she's great.
I met her and her mom out there in Jersey, and her brother. I can't wait. She's another one that's going to be coming on. That's they're proper. They're a lot of fun. They're good.
Yeah, I just come across her. I couldn't remember her name for a second.
Mallory Dobbs is another one that's fast out here. Is Mallory Dobbs?
Mallory does Super Hooligans, which is just to put it my naked bikes with V twins, and then she does that, and then she does Super Sport as well.
Sport, right. Okay. Yeah.
She's fast on a hooligan's bike. She's fast on a hooligan bike.
And then Chloe Mandrill, she's another one from over
Chloe's
here.
Good.
Yep.
Yeah.
That she.
I've heard of Chloe. Trying to think of the other people I know over there. I don't know. The only people I know are American girls, really. So like. Kayla and
beast.
I know Jack because he rode in my class.
Yeah.
I don't know if Liam McDonald didn't ride a 400.
I don't think he did.
I don't think he did either.
I don't think he did.
I met Liam at MotoGP when I was there for Day of Champions when I was with OMG in 2022. Nice. I did Day of Champions there. I met the whole MotoGP grid. It was the best weekend of my life.
Ever, right?
That's the best.
Honestly, I thought I was going to be sick when I saw Alicia Spargaro. I stood there shaking.
It happens.
This is a funny one. All the Honda boys started walking towards me. So it was Taka and Alex. And how do you say his name?
Which one?
Team boss, Lucio Cecchinello.
Oh, yeah. Check it out.
Yeah.
No,
he's the guy, right?
No, it's Alberto Puig.
No, not Alberto Puig. It was definitely Lucio Cecchinello.
Okay.
I think that's his name. And the Honda boys started walking towards me, and I asked Lucio Cecchinello, "Can I have a photo with you guys?" And he went to take the photo, and I was thinking in the back of my brain, I need to have you in it because I know you. Your face is really famous, but I don't know your name. So I said, no, come in the photo. And one of the Honda ladies took it for me. And I was sent all through the day. I was sending them to my dad. And my dad pulled up that Honda photo and he was like, WTF, oh my God, you just met this. And I was like, I knew that was somebody important. I'm so proud of myself.
That's proper, right?
I got one like that. We're at Road Atlanta.
Oh no, I took it down. I got a signed photo of Taka Nakagami because I like Taka as well. But I was so happy with myself that I got that photo of Yuichi Shekanello because I knew my dad would have gone mental if I hadn't have done it. Yeah. I just knew his face. And I was like, if I don't get a photo with you, somebody's going to kick off.
Oh, God.
But somebody's going to be mad. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd be moving out, packing my bags and moving. There'd be some uproar in the house.
That's hilarious.
I kind of had something like that happen at Road Atlanta. We were sitting there hanging out. And we're the only Honda on the grid for Stock 1000, pretty much. We've got all the Honda stuff and like literally Honda, like Fox and Honda Easy Ups, and it's all connected to the motor. It's crazy setup, right? So we're sitting there hanging out a lot of that because Honda Power Sports US is in Atlanta. So all the sales reps and everything that are working in the office are over and all that. And we're sitting there hanging out. We're all talking. And all of a sudden, these two Japanese men walk up. And we're sitting here. He's like, oh, and we're all lined up. And we're trying to get in. Hey, and he goes, no, I'll take a picture. So I'm like, okay, cool. So I hand really nice Japanese man my phone. He takes a couple of pictures and then he walks in. And I'm like, I'm talking to Topol, one of the guys. I'm like, who is that? He goes, oh, that's the new head of Honda Power Sports US. And I'm sitting there going,
what? Wait, what?
Excuse me?
Yeah, right.
The head of the company? He goes, oh, yeah, over everything. I was just like, oh, my God. And so
that's happened to me before, and I can't remember who I was talking to. But I was talking to them as if I had literally no idea who they were because I didn't have a clue.
Sure.
And I walked away, told myself, I was like, what's up? And he was like, do you know who that was? And I was like, no. And I can't remember who it was. I'll get my dad to tell me who it was, and then I'll message you the story, Chris, and you can tell the story in the next podcast.
I will.
It was, it's interesting. The thing is, as famous people, just quickly touch on, I don't really, if somebody well known is there, I'm just like, oh yeah, sound cool, because they're just another person to me. Unless it's Alicia Spargaro, Taka Nakagami, Rossi, that's different. Because but I used to like when I wasn't racing, I didn't really appreciate the fact that these were just people. Like I'd met Jamie Whittam before actually knowing him. Like he's on a picture on my wall. Like my dad, he's been on telly and all this lot, and I idolized him before I raced. And then when I started racing, it all just I didn't not look up to them. I was just like, okay, it's just a rider. Because I had to sort of, you got to respect the fact that person is, does what you do. So when I did a Jamie Whittam track day, I had to really suppress the fangirl vibes and sort of sit there and not freak out that Jamie Whittam, the guy that's been on my wall since I was 6 years old, is sat right in front of me.
Yep.
I also freaked the hell out when he was like, oh yeah, take my phone number. I was like internally screaming. But it's like, it's crazy because watched him. I've idolized him my whole life, and then there he is. And now he's one of the nicest people I've ever met. If I need some help with something, I go to Jamie and I'm like, what do you think of that? Yeah. And he's like, yeah, sound. And then okay, cool. That's what Jamie thinks. So
it's a done deal. That's it.
That's awesome.
Yeah, then it's nice. It's nice like that because it's just
It's awesome.
Lizzie,
yeah.
I feel like you, when it comes to podcasting, when I'm sitting down chatting with people like you and all the guests I've had on, I got to turn my fanboyish off, and it's hard sometimes. It really is. So trust me.
Special, man.
Come on now. Listen, I told you when we first met.
I don't want to hear it.
Yeah, what an honor. It is. It's been, an absolute honor. But listen, man, we've 2 hours and 30 minutes. I
gotta go work.
This is our longest podcast I think we had. So we're gonna end
the longest you and I have done.
Yes, for sure. But listen, before we get off here, obviously you two can stay on for a minute when we end it.
Yeah.
But Lizzie, tell everybody how they can get in touch with you, how they can follow you on social media, support you. Do you have a club, Lissy Whitmore, yet?
So we normally run this thing called Club 34. We haven't relaunched it just yet because we haven't sort of figured out what's going on with us. But in the future, soon it will be relaunched. It's just called Club 34. You donate £34. You get your name. This is how it worked last year, so I'm just going to go off of how it might work this year. Your name will go onto a list that will go into a raffle draw for. This year it was tickets, tickets first place, hat for second, and a mug for third. Not sure how it's going to work this year. We're still figuring it out, but that's the whole sort of gist of it. You'll get monthly personal updates via email, and you'll get sent a goodie bag with wristbands and stickers and a signed photo from me. You can follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and I think I've missed one, but
all of them.
Just generically search on any platform Lissy Whitmore Racing or Lissy Whitmore 34. My name will come up, and you'll know it's me. But yeah, I think that's. I do have a website. I'm reworking it at the minute. I've just not got a laptop to do it on at the minute because it's a bit broken. But yeah, that's how you can follow me. That's that. There you go.
I love it. She said that's that. Look, Peter Marsh says Lizzie needs her own podcast.
That's funny you should say that, because I actually went through this idea with one of my mates about doing our own podcast just on a Skype, recording a Skype thing. But then you just get so sucked into buying all the microphones and the cameras and then going and traveling and stuff. And it's like, I don't have time. Yeah. I don't have the money to do that.
So work.
My boss actually bought my microphone, and I use my laptop in these, and that's it. So I don't have a special camera, but I could probably.
I'm sat at my desk unit thing in my chair that's meant to be over there with a mirror light shining at me, and I'd go too far with it, sort of thing. I'd get a full setup and a curved monitor and cameras and microphones, just because I think I need it. And then if it doesn't take off, I've got all this stuff, and I'm like, don't know what to do with it now. But you never know. Maybe we'll get one started. Maybe Jake can co-host it with me.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Yeah, and then Martin Adams says the Clothing Kings wish you all the best for 2024, man. Martin's proper.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Absolutely. So, Daniel, do you have anything to say before we get off here?
Not really. Just we'll hang on. Remind me to tell you the number that we heard from.
We will.
Mind that.
No, you're good. So obviously I do. Listen, there's a couple things I want to say is thank you for everybody that always watches and tunes in and supports Pin the Gas podcast. It means the world to me. It really does. Big shout out to my man, Robert Lackey from Bison Leathers. So if anybody out there in America or over there in the UK wants a set of custom leathers by some of the best people in the world, and what an honor it is to be their friends in this short lifetime. My microphone's so sensitive it just got off. Reach out to Robert Lackey and his wife Tasha Lackey at Bison and get you fitted in a custom race leather suit. Big shout out to my man Jake Marsh and Peter Marsh. I have nothing but love for them. They run Pin the Gas on their bikes and in their team wear, and it's simply amazing. You guys made my year, and I say this all the time. Thank you guys so much. Again, thanks to Peter and Jake Marsh. My man, Martin from the Clothing King podcast. You already know I love you so much. You are so proper. So if anybody wants any clothing made, I don't care if you play basketball, soccer, or you just want a cool shirt made, right? Or anything, reach out to Martin. He will take care of you. If you want any Pin the Gas merch, reach out to him. He'll take care of you too. If you don't know how to get in touch with them, it is theclothingkings.co.uk. And he'll get you properly squared away. And if anybody wants to do a track day or get on the track, seek out Jane at californiasuperbikeschool.co.uk. They are some of the best people in the world. They will get you straight, and you'll have the best fun you ever had in your life on two wheels, right? But yeah, that's it. Listen, guys, I appreciate all this. Sorry about the delay between Facebook and being live. I'm not sure what really happened with that. It's the first time it happened, but I'm glad it got sorted out. And this episode will be out on Spotify, iHeart, Boom Play, Google, all that good stuff. And you guys already know where you can follow us at, right? Facebook, Twitter, X, all that. Everything Lizzie just said, that's where you can find us too, right? I want to say thank you to Daniel Shoemake. What an honor it is. And of course, my special guest and long time in coming, Lissy Whitmore. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. It's been this is probably, you've beat my record for the longest podcast. BT is going to be on you now. BT was my longest podcast, the last one I did. So he's going to be back on it now. We've got to find 2 and a bit out, almost 3 hours to talk about loads of stuff, BT.
I'm going to tell you right now.
That's it.
Tuesday, it's going to get bad. I already knew we got coming Tuesday. It's going to be bad.
Yeah.
You know what? He's going to text me in a minute. Right, we got to do this next week.
Yeah, right. Listen, BT, challenge accepted, baby. Yes, challenge accepted.
I'm not trying to get one of these David Cho 7-hour podcasts. We ain't doing this.
Yeah, right.
Like Jesus loves you. We ain't doing that.
Just take naps. But like, go and take a nap, and then when he comes back, I'll take a little nap. But yes, listen, everybody, I appreciate everybody watching, and stay tuned tomorrow because I got another special guest, Luke Hedger, BSB. I'm super excited about Luke. I know you tuned in. Well on, mate. I appreciate it. And yeah, thank you so much. My man Daniel, Lissy Whitmore. I'm Christian Show Simcoe. Until next time, see you guys.
Later.
Bye.